Panther City Rebellion podcast is filmed and recorded on-site inside Deadroom Studios located at Platinum Music Complex in North Richland Hills, Texas. You can find out more about this location at platinummusiccomplex.com. That's platinummusiccomplex.com. Also, check out their school for all ages at platinumlessons.com. That's platinumlessons.com. Now, enjoy the show. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 24 of Panther City Rebellion podcast. My name is Justin Ross.
My name is Dustin Schneider.
With us, as always, in the box, Mr. Craig Youngblood of Western Soul Photography.
And Mr. Matt Thomas.
Greetings.
Of
Jarring
and Skip Redstone fame. Happy Nude Day, y'all.
Happy Nude Day.
It's National Nude Day. It's
nice penis. Doing
National.
That?
I think
penis.
we should strip down. National Mac and Cheese Day. Bastille Day.
What? We could have been naked and had mac and cheese?
And made mac and cheese
gotta get
noises.
better on our notes. How to just not dress this morning.
And Bastille Day.
And then France lost today to Spain in the World Cup at the last game at AT&T Stadium. We'll get into that later.
C'est la vie.
I have a little World Cup thing I want to get to.
All right.
With some pictures.
Some pictures. Oh, my goodness.
But yeah.
Photos.
Had a good week.
Hey, man. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, dude. It was
Happy
a good
Tuesday.
week.
It was a good week.
Long and filled with all kinds of things. You guys had a good Saturday night.
Yeah, Western Soul Photography and Plastic Object Photography went out and played under the stars.
Yes, you did.
Finally had a gorgeous night, no clouds, out at, what's it called? Fort Griffin State Historical Site. It's not a park. It's a state historic site.
Right
and even though it is a park, it's just not a state park. And we had the place to ourselves all night.
That's dope.
Ran around, shooting around ruins, getting stars, and we'll see how they all come out.
Craig, are you okay?
Yeah.
Butt fine? Or was it the ankle where you got pricklies?
My foot.
Your foot.
It's his
I got stabbed in the foot,
Fair enough.
backing into a cactus.
That'll happen.
It's dark out
I
there.
don't know that the
Dude,
Wilhelm
Texas,
scream.
man. Everything in Texas is trying to kill you, fuck you, or fight you, and it's all out there.
Australia's worse, from what I hear.
We ran around with our black lights, and I was shocked that A, there was no just loose DNA on the ground, and B, no scorpions. And that is
wow.
scorpion land, and I have a theory that I need to research on that.
Is it what y'all were wearing?
No, that didn't keep them away. I think it was the ground brush. They don't like that. They love mesquite trees, but they don't like the type of grass that was out there, and I can't remember what it's called.
What'd you have for lunch?
Some ice house in Albany. What did nachos?
Maybe that's what was keeping them away.
Could have been.
You know what I mean?
Could have been.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
But usually that whole area out there, because got a hunting lease not too far from there, and it's full of scorpions.
Oh, jeez.
You just see them everywhere.
Dude.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about that.
So, we've talked about it for weeks now. So, tonight, on Prime, Backrooms is coming out tonight.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So,
I'll watch that tomorrow.
Okay.
as good as I've heard it is, I'm going in blind. I'm going to buy it, have it in the collection, my online collection. It's so fucking weird to say that now.
I was like, who said it was meh? And it was Claire last week.
Yeah, she was like, meh.
Meh. It's all right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks, Claire. Whatever.
It,
Whatever,
Well-
Claire.
Should we introduce our guest so we can...
Oh, fuck this guy. Just keep going.
he can express his opinions, and then
Yeah.
the camera will finally come to him. And
Yeah.
if you have ever gone to a show, a concert, in the last 20 years and seen this little dude running around in front of the stage with cameras, shooting, going nuts, that kind of looks like, what's his name? Trujillo? Trejo.
Oh,
Trejo.
I thought you were trying to say
Trejo,
Robert
yeah.
Trujillo.
Robert Trujillo. Running
Danny
around.
Trejo.
Danny.
Danny Trejo.
All of them.
The second.
Well, it's not. His name is James Villa, and he's here with us in the studio tonight.
What up, James?
What's
What
going
up,
on?
guys?
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Panther City.
Thank you.
Photographer extraordinaire. One of the ones that I have to say a lot of people look up to you.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I think
thing.
it's the other way around, but yeah,
You've been doing this craft for quite a while.
I have. It's it's been a nice little run, and I've enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, it's cool. I've got to meet a lot of cool people, and I've got to do a lot of cool stuff that most people don't ever get to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's fun to look at that and go, yeah, man, we're doing something that no one else. And then it's a pain in the ass to get access to do.
Yeah, and I think most people don't appreciate what we do. Like, we complain because we don't get we don't get to shoot a show, but then when you're there and it's only one or two of you, it's great.
It's
You know,
awesome.
because you're living the dream by being in front of your favorite artist per se, and you're the only one there. And they give you your ticket, and you got to go sit way in the back, and you're like, damn, that was fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even if it's one song or two songs, you're like, that was fun. You
Yeah,
know?
that's what it was like to be up there.
Yeah,
Jeez,
yeah.
Okay.
God, that was great. Now I'm back to the poor section, but yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
back to reality.
Don't worry, that
Nosebleed
happens to
seats.
bands too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Now, I want to. That's a question I want to get to later once
Yeah.
we get more into it. But you grew up in El Paso
I did.
and born and raised.
Born and raised. I lived there for 21 years, and then I was like, I got to get out of there, because there just wasn't any opportunity in jobs in general. I didn't have any experience in anything, but then when I went to apply, they'd be like, oh, you're overqualified. I'm like, why? Because I can speak English? And it was really weird, Yeah, so I left and I went to Houston.
Well, that's an upgrade.
Yeah, it was different, and I got a job like the next day. It was so
It
crazy.
wasn't just hot and dry, but it was hot and moist.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and I went there, and I think that's where I kind of started really wanting to do what I wanted to do. I'd always been into music. I had a friend in El Paso that is a rocker. The ones, he was a typical rocker with his little jean jacket and everything, and long hair. Really cool guy. And
God bless that man.
yeah, he was awesome. He used to take albums to school, and I was like, April Wine, what is that? And
The good old Hesher.
yeah, he had an Iron Maiden record, and I was like, what is this
Yeah.
stuff? And it was cool. And I think, I didn't really listen to it at first. And one of my buddies, which I'm still friends with now, he had a Whitesnake record. And we listened to Whitesnake and he had a band called Angel. And I was like, wow, what is this? And then some other friends introduced me to Celtic Frost and Merciful Fate.
Whoa.
And,
That was a jump.
yeah. And I was like, I was hooked. I mean, it was crazy, and it was, and I tried, I tried playing instruments, and I just couldn't afford them, so that was another problem. But when I did, I got this old guitar that kept untuning. I learned how to tune it by myself, and I just couldn't get it. And I really enjoyed it, but I couldn't get past a certain point. And back then you couldn't really just go, hey, let's see how the tablature is. You couldn't do any of that stuff. So I just, I thought, what would be the coolest thing I can do? I can probably maybe take some pictures. So I had only been to one show, and that was a Motley Crue show with Loudness at the El Paso Coliseum. And once I saw that show, I was like, wow, this is great. And,
What era crew is this?
It was the Theater of Pain crew.
So good Vince.
Or
decent Vince.
Still singing Vince.
Still singing
Yes,
Vince.
because Vince hasn't sang a song in 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-abominable snowman Vince.
Yeah. That's the the McDonald's version of Vince. Yeah, it was.
Number 2 with the spies on the side.
But that's kind of what got me into it. And when I moved to Houston, I was really fortunate because I met my ex-wife there, and she was a big concert goer. She loved concerts, and we started going to a lot of shows. And there was a place called the Primeco Event Center. I forgot what it's called now. It's downtown, but it was
Is that what became the warehouse?
Retribution or something. It's in,
yeah.
in the theater district.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was a great venue. It was kind of like Trees with the Bomb Factory balcony.
Okay.
So I got to see Incubus and Marilyn Manson and Hole and Stone Temple Pilots, and I got to meet a lot of those guys. and I met him because I would stick around and wait. Just to say hi and maybe get an autograph. And I didn't really know a lot about those bands because that wasn't the genre that I really listened to. But it really made me want to do more. So I started sneaking a little camera in there, and I got caught 3 or 4 times and almost thrown out.
What'd they do? Did they? Were you shooting digital or film?
No, this was film.
Still film. Okay.
Yeah, digital wasn't there. This was back in like 94, 93. It was very early, and
did they make you pull your rolls out or anything?
Well, the guy did, but and a lot of the times I would take extra rolls with me, and I would say, like, here you go, I got it, just take it.
Yeah.
Or I would try to wind it as fast as I could and then pull it out, or I would give my ex-wife the camera and be like, here, and I'd have another camera, a little disposable or something. I thought of like a million tricks, and they worked most of the time. So that's how I kind of started. I kind of just started shooting shows, and I mean, they were all horrible. Even as I started getting better, I was horrible. And it's hard for you to admit the level of where your knowledge is until you really go back and look at it. But I think that's kind of what got me started. And then the company we used to work for, they were like, hey, we're going to move everybody to Dallas. Would you be interested in going to Dallas? And I was like, yeah, no, that's a hard no. But, I kind of got an ultimatum in a discussion with my ex, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to Dallas.
Okay, before we jump to Dallas, you're running around Houston. Were you hitting places like Numbers? And what, Fitzgerald's back in the day?
Yeah. I was, and it was funny because there was I don't know if you remember Record Rack and Record Exchange.
Yep.
I mean, that to me was the greatest experience as far as music, because I used to go to Numbers and I used to go to all these dance clubs, because they were cool. Sometimes the gay clubs, the dance at, the music is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's like, and when I grew up in El Paso, I used to go to Juarez all the time. So they played Erasure, Pesh Mode, and all that stuff. And just to see that in the U.S. was different.
Yeah.
Because in Mexico, people got super excited at the club, and
right.
They sang along to like the Erasure songs, and you got here in the everybody's like just dancing, but not really into it like that. But I used to go to Record Exchange, and they used to have these bootleg records from Club 6400, and I loved it because you could buy them. They were like $40 for a CD of 10 songs, but they were 12-inch cuts of vinyl. They were on those CDs, and they were great. I still have a couple of them, and I mean, they had like the Bolshoi, Peter Godwin, these bands that I had never heard of.
Right.
And it was so cool because it just really expanded the kind of music that I liked and what I really thought was something that I enjoyed. And I think that was just being exposed to a lot of that. And I had a lot of friends that listened to crazy music, and and I listened to Spanish music from when I grew up. I got to see a lot of the legends that most people never got to see, that were like Selena and all them when they were doing nothing. Selena played a show with B.B. King.
Oh wow!
At a one of those like street festivals.
Yeah.
And so and
was that in El Paso? Or
that was in El Paso. Yeah. So I think a lot of that was kind of what influenced me to do what I wanted to do, because I figured can't sing, even though I've tried a couple of times with some bands that have been cool enough to let me on stage, but I knew I didn't have those talents. So to me, that was the only other thing I could think of. I was like, well, maybe if I pursue this photography thing, maybe I can do it.
Right.
And nothing really materialized, and I never really got anything that was good because I didn't have anything, and we were still barely building, career and money wise and stuff. And when when we moved to Dallas, like I said, they moved us down here and they paid for everything, and I got to go back and forth between Dallas and Houston to get everything from Houston, from that company, here to Dallas. And I just, I don't know what happened. I think my son was playing T-ball. This is an interesting story because my son was playing T-ball in Irving, and his one of his coaches was this guy with all these tattoos on his arms, and he looked cool. I was like, this guy looks cool as hell. And it was Jason Moreno, which later ended up being the singer of Drowning Pool. And Jason was, I guess Jason was pretty big at some point, where everybody knew who he was and everything. And we started talking, and like, it's like, you gotta.
By coincidence.
Oh,
Nice. Was it with a Plastic Tongue?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So Jason was cool. I loved hanging out with Jason because he was always like, you got to come out and hear our band. You got to come out and see this. And this was Plastic Tongue was done. I mean, I never heard of him, but.
I got to see him like twice.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude.
And that was it.
I wish, and we we went out one time and started telling me all these things. He would tell me all these stories and stuff, and I was like, really, man? And he had a band called Crankfish. That's when I met him.
I remember.
And Braxton Henry produced that CD, and it was great. I mean, his voice is just, that guy's voice is phenomenal, and he was a good guy. But anyway, I used to go with him when they used to open up for Drowning Pool and stuff. Later with Suicide Hook. And it was really cool because he taught me a lot of etiquette and a lot of the things that you do when you hang out with bands and you're with bands. He didn't really teach me, but I got to see it. I knew when I was kind of overstepping my bounds as a person.
Yeah.
And it was really cool because it was really good. And I felt really bad because at one point he gave me a CD with all of his stuff that he'd ever recorded, and I never listened to it. And we were sitting in the car one time, and it was in Waco. We were sitting out there, and I usually would have a beer with, while he was there because he didn't drink or nothing. And he was playing this Plastic Tongue stuff. Well, I didn't know it was Plastic Tongue at that point, but I was like, damn, that's fucking good. It's great. Can I use curse words?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. And I'm like, God, this is fucking great. What is this? And he just gave me this look, and I was like, oh shit. And he goes, did you ever listen to the music I gave you? I was like, honestly, dude, I don't know where the CD is. And I didn't know where it was. But he was like, well, I'll get you another copy. So he gave me another copy, and I listened to it, and I was blown away.
Seeing them.
Yeah.
And then I got that album at one of their shows.
Yeah.
Way back. And seeing them live was heavy as hell. And then you get that album right there, and that first track where it's just him singing with a clean acoustic guitar underneath it is amazing. Yeah. And especially at that time, it sounded so good. Yeah. It's like, man, this guy can belt.
Yeah.
And then he goes on to.
Yeah, I heard. I don't know if it's a true story or not, but I heard that they were one of the first bands that would have been signed to Maverick Records, which was the Madonna label.
The Madonna label,
yeah. Deftones were on there too. Yeah.
But yeah, it was really interesting because Jason was very pivotal in what made me become the photographer and do that whole piece. Because we were sitting out one time again at another show, because he wouldn't hang out with a band. He would just sit in the car with me, and I would drink a beer, and we'd tell each other stories and stuff. And then he'd be like, "Okay, I gotta go sing." He'd go sing, and then you ready to go home? Let's go.
Just in and out.
Yeah, and we would just leave. And it was it was cool. It was cool for me. And I think a lot of people look at it as, I guess, pretentious or whatever. But I never saw it like that. I think with him, I think it was just he was happy to do it, but he didn't want to be in that environment. And I think you saw that later when he progressed to play with Drowning Pool. And but one of the things that he did, we were sitting in the car talking, and he brought up a band called The Feds.
Oh,
and he's like, "Man, you got to go see these guys," And I was like, okay. And it was funny because I had just taken a few photos. There was a band called Ours, Jimmy and Echo. They were huge. They were on alternative MTV, and it was them, Deftones, and those bands were blowing up.
Yeah.
And Kitty, which is the metal girl band,
Yep.
They're somebody from their team called me, or I don't know how I don't remember if they emailed me or what it was, but long story short, they were playing at Curtain Club, and they offered me $50 to shoot the show. And I was like, hell, I'm going to get paid to do this? And and I was like, maybe I'm going to go out there. But then Jason's like, you got to go see the Feds. And I went and
that was the same night.
That was the same night.
Where were they at?
They were at Firewater.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, and
quite a drive.
Yeah. And I was like, man, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna go listen to these Feds guys, before I go see Kitty.
Was this when From Hell to Breakfast?
It was
out?
No. It was actually later. It was the last album with the red label. I can't remember. I can't remember. They hadn't actually released it yet. So
Spit. maybe?
No, the one that has no. This was way later.
Oh, okay.
This was like their last album, I believe.
Okay.
And I heard Saturday Girl, and I was like, wow. And then I heard I went and looked them up, and I saw what's it called? No Matter What. And I was like, man, this guy's voice, it was just so raspy and so like, powerful. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see these guys. And it was crazy because I saw him, and it's funny because I told Slider, the singer, I said, you know what? We were talking one time, and I said, you know what? Why I stayed? He goes, why? I said, because you look like Patrick Swayze. and I still have those.
I can see it.
Yeah, and I still have the photos, and it's funny because, so they played that night at Firewater. I shot their photos, and I go back and look, and they're terrible. But I went the next morning to go print some out, and they played. I think they played Denton the next day, or they opened up for Wasp at some little place in Arlington. I forgot what it's called. DreamWorks, I think it was called.
Oh my God, Dreamworld.
Yes, DreamWorld. Yes.
That fucking place.
Shithole warehouse.
Yeah. And so Wasp was playing there, and the guys were just hanging out, and I was like, let me show you these awesome photos that I took of you guys, and they're like, hey, and then they looked through them, and they seemed genuinely content, and like they really liked them. And I look back now, and I think they didn't have anybody to take photos back then for them, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I guess they were just grasping at whatever was there because they got some guy interested in us. And and I think they, in hindsight, I think they saw what I thought I could do, but was nowhere near that level of photography. Because I was using flash. I mean, I was like in their face with the flash.
You're that guy.
And they never complained. Because I would tell them, I'm going to use flash. And you know what? The flash is what saved me, because the flash, I used it well to where it didn't look like I was using flash.
On camera?
Yeah. So they came out really good,
Yeah.
And the ones that I did get are pretty memorable, because I got some really good shots. But I kind of distanced myself from Jason after that point. These guys started taking me out on the road with them. We went to all these towns, and we did a tour with the Toadies and Fair to Midland. Mm-hmm. And man, I got sick. I got sicker than a dog. I mean, it was crazy. We were in the van. I had the flu, and two of the girls, Slider's girlfriend at that time, and James, his girlfriend at the time, they took care of me the whole time.
Wow.
And fed you chicken soup?
Yeah, dude. I mean, they like covered me with towels, and with the back of the van. You know what I mean? And it was pretty crazy, but that I learned so much from the Feds. And I was friends with those guys for years. And I never felt like they were using me, and I hope they never felt like I used them. But I feel like they really taught me a lot. And we used to argue sometimes. We would fight, and sometimes they would yell at me, and I would be like, "The hell, what did I do wrong?" But I didn't understand the dynamics of how that works. A band is like a family, mm-hmm. and you can't really get involved in that because that's none of your business. That's their business.
Yeah.
And you don't try to turn this guy against this guy because you don't like that guy. That has nothing to do with you. That's none of your business. You just do what you're there for, and stay out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But to me at that point, I think I felt like, oh, I'm part of this, but I didn't realize how small my role was at that point. And I think it also helped me too, because I'd learned a lot about not being a fanboy or doing any of that. Because when we lived in Houston, we, like I said, one night we hung out with Brandon Boyd of Incubus, and we were sitting in a ticket booth, and it was just my ex-wife and myself and Brandon Boyd. And we talked for like an hour, and this couple came by, and the girl was like, "Oh my God, it's Brandon, oh my God." And she was super excited. And he's like, "Do you mind if they come in?" I'm like, "Do I mind? I thought you were going to ask me to leave."
Yeah.
And and no, we invited them in, and we just sat there and talked. I think we were there for another 45 minutes until the TM came and got him and said, "Hey, we got to go, buddy." But it was really cool. I got to meet Sky Weiland there, like personally. And I got to meet Courtney Love, and it was just it was a really good experience, and I think that's what kind of made everything click. But I think the Feds was probably the band that I think I owe the most to, because they really taught me a lot, and they taught me how to respect, what I'm doing, and really just, and I learned not to, like I said, not to bother them and stuff. So, but yeah, we'll talk about that kind of stuff later. But yeah, it was an interesting thing. But I think those guys are the ones that I think really, really molded and made me become who I later became.
That's pretty awesome that it was the Feds.
Yeah.
Out of all bands, because we played with them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, my old band Steadfast opened up for them a couple times.
And I played
Clubs
with them in Ex Mobius, and that was years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2002, 2003.
I spent a lot of time in Denton, because I used to go down there a lot. They had the house parties and stuff, and there was a couple of other bands like Upside and Edgewater and all those bands that came out there.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Mermaid Purse.
Mermaid Purse
was amazing, and it was a different genre, but there were so many, and there was
a lot of Dusu in Mermaid Purse.
Yes,
so,
a lot of Dusu and Dead Twins. Gabe Cardinelli and his brother. It was a really good time for music, I believe, and I'm not saying that because I was involved in it. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it because you just don't have that anymore. We don't have I don't believe we have a scene in Dallas anymore. And it's so diluted now that it's the same 4 or 5 bands. And it's I guess they they feel that they're going somewhere, but they're not. And I want to find a band that I can go and see that I haven't seen, just because I don't feel like I'm going to be judgmental and be like, that band's terrible. Why am I here? No, I just want to be exposed to something different. Another band that I forgot to mention, Exit 380.
Oh,
wow.
Exit 380.
I remember them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dustin Blocker, that guy too. Dustin Blocker is the one that helped me get my magazine started. I did 4 album covers for them, I believe. And I love those guys because those guys, I did a music video for them. It was funny because I don't think I've ever told this story to anyone. We were at John, which is the bass player. His girlfriend worked with me at a collection or I don't know what company it was. Anyway, but we worked at this company together, and she's like, "Hey, you take photos, right?" I said, "Yeah." She says, "My husband's in a band. You should come check them out. They're Exit 380. They're looking for a photographer to do an album cover." And I was like, "Well, shit, I'm not that good. I don't know how to do that." I said, Sure. So, so she took me, gave me the address, and said, come see him and stuff. And I got there and I was sitting on the couch and I shit you not, I fell asleep twice. I was like, what is this stuff? What is this? Because they were playing a new album called, I think it was Oliver's, I forgot what it's called. It was a great album though, and it had some great music in it, but I had never heard anything like that. I was like, what is this? It sounded like spiritual church music, and it had a lot of old timey noises and sounds in the background. It was great, but then I heard their old stuff, and I was like, these guys are good, And then I saw them live, and I was like, oh man, this is awesome, because it was different. They're practicing in a room like this, and you're like, what am I listening to?
Right.
And I felt so bad because Angela actually came and tapped me a couple of times, and she's like, James, like, what? And I was so embarrassed, But she's the only one that I think saw me because they were into their music. But yeah, I did an album. We did an album cover, and they dressed up in like 70s clothes or 60s clothes, and they looked great. And we had a really good relationship. And those guys, I'm glad I remembered them. But yeah, those guys were awesome. And between them and the Feds, I think that's what really shaped the road that I went in. And I've always been a big music person, that I have a big variety of music that I listen to. Mm-hmm. But those guys were just they were phenomenal. And Dustin Blocker's is a great guy. He went and did Hand Drawn Records, mm-hmm. and he helped me,
which is killing it.
Yeah, which is killing it. And he actually helped me start the magazine that I started later.
So when did you start the magazine? What year were you looking at?
I think it was 2008. I want to say I did some stuff for Jam magazine. And Dave Huff was the main writer.
Did Sherman do stuff for Jam too?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I know who did. Never mind.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah.
But the whole thing with the magazine was that Dave Huff, I told him, I don't really like this Jam magazine deal, and that I wasn't really happy with it, and I didn't like it, and And I got passed up on some shows that I felt I was better at, and I wasn't. It was one of those ego things where I thought I was so good and I wasn't. And so I understand why I got passed up now, but back then I didn't understand. And one day I was just mad, and instead of keeping my composure, I went and talked to Dave, and I said, "Hey man, I think I can do this myself. Do you want to join me?" And he says, "Sure." So he left Jam, and he was like their main contributor. And he basically handed me his contacts, and we were talking about 20 years of contacts, and he introduced me to a lot of the big people in the business. And so that's kind of where that started, and we just started the magazine, and Dustin was like, "Let's do this," and he started helping me put it together, and it all went crazy from there. I was getting about 1 million visitors a year for a little zine. It was weird, and it was neat because it opened up a lot of doors that I didn't know. And
now that's what I was going to ask you. Was starting the magazine a way to open doors to national shows, to have an outlet to actually get in and do?
Honestly, yes and no, because to me, I wanted just to showcase my photos, and somewhere to put it that wasn't like the typical, oh, here's my page, here's my Flickr page or whatever.
Flickr page.
Yeah. And it's funny because, it grew from there, and I had a writer, a friend, Jordan Buford, great kid.
No, Jordan.
Super talented.
Jordan's awesome.
Super great writer. But sometimes he would write like a novel, and I would be like, "Jordan, you got to kind of trim it a little bit, and he's like, "Well, I don't know." And then I would read them, and I was like, "Damn, this is good. I mean, this is really good." And he would observe things that I would observe, and nothing is more, as a photographer, nothing's more humbling than than somebody saying something about a photo you took that they know why you took it.
Right.
Like there's a Seether photo where the guy's playing with his, he's playing with these little dolls because the singer has these little dolls on his microphone. And,
oh yeah, Sean.
Yeah, and he's talking about his brother, and it's about the death of his brother and stuff.
Yeah, Rise Above, their song is about that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, he's talking about that after the song or before the song, and I took the picture because I liked the visual of it. He wasn't doing it; he was just talking,
right,
and playing with the stuff on his mic. And this person on this couple on Facebook are like, "Hey man, I really appreciate you taking that photo. That was a beautiful moment." And I was like, "Wow, people are actually paying attention and they're actually looking at this."
Right.
And I think that's what motivated me more to do the magazine, to just really do it. And because it was supposed to be, like you say, it was supposed to be a gateway for me to shoot shows, because that's what I wanted. And I knew I could get nationals with the help of Dave. Dave got me in trouble with Paramore, and I got banned for like 5 years.
Okay, that was a question that was going to come up.
We talked about this.
Are we allowed
earlier.
to talk about this?
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
So you went down to Chile.
Yeah.
For a festival.
Yeah.
Snuck a camera in.
Yeah.
In 2 pieces. Like this is some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell the story because it's awesome.
Yeah. So I got banned from Paramore here in Dallas because Dave sold the tickets that they gave us to do the review and to get into the show, because back then they would give you 2 tickets.
Oh, okay.
And he sold the tickets. And I didn't know, because I didn't really know who Paramore was. And, anyway, long story short, it got rained out. So those kids were like, "Hey, we want our money back."
Oh, shit.
And so the venue's like, "Hey, those are comp tickets. Well, we want our money back. We paid $300 a piece for these tickets."
Oh, no.
Shit. And so the next day I get this rant from this agent, and you did was wrong, and this and this and that. I'm like, "Hey, I don't know what you're talking about." And they said, "Well, you're not going to shoot them at least if I'm here for the next 5 years, you're not shooting them."
Oh, wow.
So I thought I had the Paramore show in Chile in the bag, because I actually met the guy that took me to Chile. I shot his band at Curtain Club. At Trees. And he was like, "Hey, you want to go to?" I told him about Paramore, and he's like, "Dude, I'm from Chile."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, that's cool. Like, what does that have to do with me?" And he's like,
Right.
"Let's go." And I go, "Dude, I don't have that kind of money." My mom had just passed, and I was like, I wasn't really into it. And he's like, No, I'll pay for your trip. Let's go. You just bring some money for expenses and let's go.
Right.
And I was like, you got to be shitting me. So I'm like, yeah, I've got to go. Let's go, you know?
Yeah, right.
So, so we went to the show, and he's like, even if something happens, I can swing it. I can get us in there. And I'm like, well, we have tickets. He goes, but I mean, we're going to get your gear in there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And so, we went to the venue. I had the camera, I had the 7200 and a Nikon, a big Nikon. And, we're walking in there. I went to the booth, and I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to have a photo pass. I thought I could wiggle my way around it. They're like, yeah, there's no photo pass for you. Well, can you call somebody? Can you do that? Yeah, there's nothing. I was like, great. Can I give you some money? Like, no. Damn. So I told my friend Carlos, let's just go put the stuff back in the car. I mean, let's just forget it. He's like, we can sneak it in. I'm like, how are we going to sneak it in? He goes, we can sneak it in. I said, okay, it's fine. He goes, here, you take, what do you want, the body or the lens? I go, what? He goes, yeah, let's take it apart. So we took it apart. I grabbed the lens and stuck it underneath my armpit because I had a jacket, but it was a really thin jacket. Mm-hmm. And so, we get to the check in line, and I'm giving the guy the ticket, and I'm having my hand like this because I'm like trying to keep my arm still, And he's like, okay. He goes, he wants me, but when he wants me, the guy next to him said something, and then he turned around. And he goes, go ahead. So he let me through. And then I'm like, okay, I got the lens. Awesome. I'm super excited, And then I'm waiting because Carlos isn't coming through the line. I'm like, oh, man. And then, I started walking towards the front. I said, I've got to keep going, no matter what. I'm already here. And 2 minutes later, here comes Carlos running. And he's like, I got it. And so we had the camera. And so I'm like, okay. So I put it together, and now I have it together with the strap inside the jacket. And then he's like, and I'm like, now what am I going to do? And there was security everywhere. And it was crazy because I had never seen that kind of scene. You know how when you see those Elvis movies or those Elvis concerts when the girls are all screaming and they sound like little birds chirping and little chipmunks?
Yeah.
That's what that sounded like when Paramore came out. And I was like, damn, and Carlos is like, I want to put you on my shoulders, dude. So, get as much as you can, as quick as you can. And I was like, okay. And so if you look at On Tour, if you look at the magazine, you'll see those Paramore photos that I took. Mm-hmm. And they came out pretty good.
Nice.
Considering that it was I think I was on his shoulders maybe less than a minute because those security guards saw us. And, when I got down, I gave him the camera right away, and then he took off with the camera, and they came over right there on me, and they were like, all right, where is it? And I go, where's what? He goes, where's the camera? And I said, I don't have a camera. He goes, where's your buddy? I'm like, what buddy? You were on someone's shoulders. I said, yeah, I don't think so. So I got to see, I think I stayed another 2 or 3 songs and I left. But yeah, so I got it. And that was kind of the catapult for the magazine because if you don't know the story, you think I shot Paramore in Chile because I had a photo pass. But yeah, that's kind of where it started. And then, and that's where it got big. And that was the first show that I officially put on there. So now whenever I would request a pass, they would look at it and be like, oh, this guy shot Paramore in Chile. And that's kind of why it's called On Tour Monthly, because it was for me to be on tour, but it had to be called monthly because back then online magazines weren't that prevalent. So when you would see monthly, they're like, oh, it's print. And I would always put print when I would request a pass. I even made an InDesign template, and I would kind of put stuff in there, and I would make a page or 2 pages, and then I would send it to the thing with their article only.
Right.
So it was only their piece. I'm like, well, I can send you the print copy later. It's just not on print yet. And they're like, oh no, this is all we need. So that's kind of how it started, and that's where it all grew.
That's awesome.
That's gnarly. Yeah, that's killer.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was fun.
And have you been to a Paramore show since?
I have. I've been to 3 actually.
Have you met them?
Yeah, I have not met them. Jordan actually went to a thing with them, and it was basically a meet and greet with fans, and he was supposed to be covering it in writing, and I actually had to take it down because I knew I had gotten approved for some Paramore stuff. And the article was called "Green Eggs and Sham."
That's awesome.
It was great, but yeah, I hid that, but Yeah, some of my favorite shots were from Paramore at in Grand Prairie. I think I posted a month ago back, and then I shot them again, and then I shot her at Edgefest. I think it was called Edgefest, right?
Yeah.
At Edgefest, and then I shot her one more time by herself when all the original members were gone.
Yeah.
But she dressed up in some cool little hat and stuff, and I made the mistake of saying when I posted or something, I said Haley of Paramore, and these kids just went ape shit on me. They just started saying, this and this and that. And it's not her band. It's a band. It's a team. It's a group effort. I mean, they like destroyed me. And so I ended up rewording it, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to cause any friction.
Well, so there was never like a, oh, you're the guy moment. Like there was never, she's like, oh, you in the magazine.
No. It was pretty interesting, because it never got talked about again, and we never discussed it again.
And now here it is on the channel.
Here it is being
flooded.
Self-confession. But and I think that was kind of one of those. That was one of my favorite moments from when I started. And it was funny because I believe it was right after that I got to shoot Justin Timberlake at American Airlines, and it was just me and the house guy.
Okay, so that wasn't the show.
I had never shot anything like that before.
Yeah.
And it was like, how do I go from that Paramore to Justin Timberlake? And I was like, this is crazy. Is it that easy to get a pass? Is it that? And it wasn't. But I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because I was getting approved left and right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, the approval process and all that, and how much it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was, but that was fun. It was a great experience, and it really taught me a lot.
So you the Justin Timberlake I shot. There were like 6 of us there, and Roman and Jamie were there.
Oh, okay.
And they made us shoot from the top row over the lower section, the top row of seats. They gave us all seats and like, here's where you can shoot from. This was the Man of the Woods tour.
Wow.
And I had, just because I didn't know what was going to happen, in my bag I had my 150 to 600.
Oh, crap.
Cranked that ISO up. I was like, I hope I can save these.
Yeah.
Because it's like a 6.3.
Yeah.
And I just started shooting, and they came out good. And it looks like I'm right there in Justin's face.
That's
but
nice.
It's like,
mine actually came out the same. Because it was they put a huge. I mean, it was like a 12-foot wall, almost 20-foot wall, and that's where he was standing. So it was really hard for me to see. I'm not the tallest guy in the pit, but it was so cool because the front row was nothing but women, and I thought I was trying to be super cool and not piss them off, and one of them tapped me on the shoulder, and she's like, "You're struggling." She goes, "Why don't you get up on the railing, and we'll hold you." And they literally held me on the rail. I was on the rail, leaning back with my camera, taking the photos. And the security guard went and told me to get down at one point. And one of the ladies is like, "No, we're okay with it. We asked them to do it." So that's how I was able to get the shots.
That's gnarly.
And the other guy, I don't think he got anything because he was struggling. He was on the other end because you had to pick a side.
Yeah.
yeah.
And those ladies they saved my life.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
There's a few venues around here that I prefer shooting from the board or from the back row.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier, but Dos Equis Starplex.
Yes.
Since they added that 9 inches to the stage, they reported it and made it taller. I'd rather shoot from the aisle.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of shooting from far away, only because everything is so static, and you have the same shots that everybody else has.
That is true.
And that's unless you're really, really good at it. And some people are good. Like I've gotten lucky that I've been able to find an angle to where it doesn't look like everybody else. I mean, you can do the same thing in the pit.
Yeah.
But there's still some variation to where you're standing and stuff. But I think that's the hardest thing about that. And I don't like having to carry this big giant lens and having to do all that. I'm not, because it's like somebody says, "How do you set your camera?" I was like, I don't know. I don't care. Because then it's work and it's not fun anymore. Eventually, I had to figure that out because I knew it was terrible when I looked at my photos. So that was a learning process in itself. But yeah, I just don't feel like it should be work. And I think
on those tall stages, like when you're shooting and they come out to the edge, it's like you're looking up their nose.
Yeah,
and that's kind of annoying.
Yeah,
so that's.
I think you can work it around it sometimes by shooting in the corners
and the sides, yeah.
But, because there's a lot of photographers that have that nasty habit of picking up the camera and putting it in their face. And I get what they're doing because that's the only choice they have.
Yeah.
I would just rather not do that.
I don't like doing that either.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that because now you're intruding. You have the privilege of being there, and you should respect it to an extent.
Now, if they come down off the stage or come down onto a monitor or something that's in front of the stage, that's a different story.
That's a different story, correct? Because they're asking you to
They
come.
want it.
They're inviting you in.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is the etiquette piece that a lot of people don't understand. And I think a lot of that is there wasn't really like a rule book back then that you would know. I just kind of assumed, hey, you don't do this. Or I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
We had Diana Ross.
Common courtesy.
We had Diana Ross at Bomb Factory one time, and she was hard to work with from their perspective, from what I heard. But I didn't go to the pit, but one of the other photographers, which I won't mention his name, he's a good guy, but he went all the way to the front, and they let him up there because they didn't know any better. They didn't know he wasn't supposed to be up there. But I was like, you know what? This is Diana Ross. I know it's only one opportunity, and I'd love to get close, but I was happy with what I got, and I didn't feel bad about it, And he bragged about doing it and stuff, and I was like, I get it. I guess.
Did he get shows after that?
Did he what?
Did he get any shows after that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we know who he is.
Okay.
But that's one of those things, because he's kind of the one that got us in trouble at Jexa, because at Jexa you could go sit out there and be in the lawn with a camera, and as long as you didn't use it, you were great.
Yeah.
But he got caught taking pictures outside and everything, and he changed the whole dynamic, and and it's when you do that's kind of what ruins it, because you're like, why can't you just be happy with what you've got or what you're getting? That's an opportunity. Don't piss it away.
Yeah.
And don't ruin it for everybody else. And I think that's one of the things that I get it. Just like we can talk about later, that some people do this because they don't really understand how it works, and they feel like they're going to be these. I'm going to be the next. Big photographer, and I'm going to get to meet all these bands. You're not.
No.
You're not. And I think that's what it is, because all those positions are already sewed up. That's how it works. And I think people don't understand that, and I think that's...
How do you guys compete against, and this is just me being green on this subject, but like phones, like people with their phones, and then able to edit with those phones? How do you... Is that a competition for you guys?
No.
Okay.
No. I think... if you know how to utilize your phone, you can get some really good shots, because there's people that really can do stuff in the first few rows. They can get stuff, but once you start editing those photos, it totally destroys the whole structure of the photo, and you start getting all that grain, and you start doing all that, because they're not really there yet. This new iPhone, it's pretty good, because it's basically got all three lenses in there, and you can do a little mild editing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think I've ever really I don't think I've ever been super impressed with the photo that I've seen from the pit with a phone, and they're not allowed in the pit anyway, so they can't do it. But if they're in the first few rows, they can get some good stuff. Video, oh yeah, they'll destroy you with video, because because we're not even allowed to shoot.
We're not
video
shoot video,
right?
Yeah, we get 30 seconds sometimes, and it's like, what's the point?
Sure.
And dynamic range on a phone is nowhere near what a camera has.
Right.
So they're always going to look better in a camera that's built for that.
Right.
Yeah,
I just didn't know if it was with the camera like the iPhone, if people are doing that, and then they're trying to sell that off, and it's competition
I think
for you guys.
I would say out of everybody that's got an iPhone, maybe 1 in 30 know how to actually use the phone in the camera in a manual setting,
right?
Yeah.
And good shots. If you're just holding your phone up and snapping, they're not going to look good.
Yeah.
Lighting's going to blow it out. They still have phase issues with LED,
right?
At 60 hertz, 50 hertz, whatever.
Yeah.
Either one. So it doesn't come out great.
Yeah. Another question for you was there something besides bands, besides music, what you were going to shoot? Was there something about film that drew you to, like, man, I love doing this? Not just the pictures that you're taking of artists in the moment, but just photography, like Dustin doing what he did Saturday with the Astro stuff, like doing stuff like that.
My brother,
the art in it, I guess, is what I'm asking.
My brother was a big camera freak. You know, he'd buy all these cameras back in the day with film. And, you know, he had some pretty expensive cameras. And, you know, I would look at his photos, and sometimes he would let me shoot with them. And I was like, wow, I can shoot, right? And I get so excited. I'm like, you know, can I have this roll, or can I print this roll? And I was like, and it seems so cool, you know, just that you could capture something. And, you know, I never felt like I was talented enough to take any other kind of photo besides a band photo. And I think a couple of years ago, I went to maybe I was going to say it's probably 9 or 10 years ago. I went to New York, and I got this. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go shoot some landscape. And I got this photo that I was like, wow. I mean, I was blown away. But it took me almost 3 hours to get that photo.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of opened up a lot of like what I did in Mexico this weekend. It really is something that I wanted to do for a long time, but I never felt like I would do it. And it also goes back to like the post stuff with Exit 380. You know, I thought I could never do a cover because I always thought it was supposed to be something spontaneous, because, you know, like the old 70s covers looked so spontaneous.
Right.
Or a big drawn out production like Anna Leibovitz does, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
but see, I don't think that's fair. You know
I don't think it's fair either.
I don't think that's fair, and I also don't think it's fair when and I'm not crying about it. I'm just saying I don't think you can consider, I don't want to say you can't consider them an artist, because that's not fair either. But when you have all those tools and you have all that access, it really doesn't make it as interesting anymore. Because I think at that point you're just kind of creating the moment, and it's not real.
What do you think about her getting ripped over the past 2 weeks?
Oh, I didn't even know about that. I don't really listen to a lot of the stuff that happens.
I just stumbled across it, and I forgot who she did a shoot. I think it was for World Cup stuff.
Yes. Now,
and she used the Mexican filter.
Yeah. I didn't know,
photos.
But I saw the first day I went to the museum, my friend was with me, and I didn't really get to see it like I wanted to. So a couple of days later, I had the guy that took us everywhere, that drove us around. I'm like, dude, take me back to the so I can see, you know, go back to the museum. And I saw that they had an Annie Leibovitz room, and yeah, I did see the Mexican filter, and it was interesting, you know what I mean? And I was like
calling her racist for using it.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I was like, you know, and a lot of it was the players, and it was just they were I'm going to say manufactured moments.
Yeah.
That they weren't real. To me, it's like,
yeah, they don't look real.
No, they don't.
All of her stuff is extremely posed. Extremely
right.
posed.
And I get it. And, you know, and it's like kind of like the guys that do these the Danny Wimmer festivals. You know, they shoot the whole show, and, you know, and they get the shots that you're never going to get, because you're never going to get that in the first 3 songs.
Yeah.
And they get unprecedented access, and then they brag about it, and they act like they're the ones that did. And it's like, no, because if I had the same kind of access, I'd probably get better shots than you.
Yeah.
Because I know the bands more than you do. You're just here because you have to do this. You know, you don't have that same bond mentally with that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that going back to your question, I think the aspect of like my brother would take these cool shots of, like, some people can look at a mailbox and make it look awesome, and my brother was like that. He would take a photo, and I'm like, how did you make that look like that? And it was just a simple photo.
Yeah.
But to me, that was more artistic than anything, because he found a way to make something that really is kind of boring and make it look cool. You know, that's like food photography. It's like, that's amazing.
And that's a lot of work.
And that's a lot of work.
A
you know
whole
what I mean?
lot of work.
And that's different because that's food, you know. But like the Annie stuff is kind of like, oh, let's bring in Elvis and, you know, Paul McCartney and sit them here and let's make it look cool.
Have access to any celebrity you want because of, you know. I mean, she's done stuff in the past, but her path was pretty padded. You know, and easy to get through.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you know, it's kind of one of those things, and I think that's the kind of stuff that leads people to not understand what they're going to get out of this, and I think that's, you know, everything gets diluted because they're like, oh, I'm going to be the next Annie Lewis. No, you're not.
What do you? I thought I was going to be the next Joe McNally.
Yeah,
but no. Do you have any photographers you looked up to? Coming up,
I love Neil. I hate I don't want to butcher his name, but the guy that did the Motley Crue stuff.
Okay, yeah,
amazing guy. I liked what's his name that worked with Zombie too. Oh God, I hate that I can remember his name.
Rob Finn.
Rob Finn. Yes, thank you very much.
Was it Neil Strauss that? No,
No,
not Neil Strauss.
No, not Neil Strauss. I forgot his name, but he did all the Motley Crue Blood stuff and did a bunch of stuff. The guy that used to hang out with Guns N' Roses.
You talking about Neil Zowler? Or
Yes.
something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, amazing photography. I mean, the guy did all the Guns N' Roses stuff from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the kind of access you want, to be. And that's why I like the Feds, because they would let me shoot anywhere, anything. And that's the kind of access you want.
It's nice having a band that will do that.
Yes.
And get what's going on.
Yeah. And I think that was my dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it never happened, at least not yet. But I think that's what inspired me, and that's what really drives me, that to have that and have a band that actually respects you and treats you like an equal, even though you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's admirable that people can get that. And I don't hate on those guys that have like the Danny Wimmer festivals and stuff, because they got that gig however they got it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool. I don't think it's cool if they don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where the disconnect is between a lot of us.
Well, there's a few people that we see locally in the photo pit that I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
They don't appreciate it. They don't appreciate what's going on. They're young. The etiquette is out the window.
Yeah.
They don't get any of the etiquette. They're just shoving cameras in your shot, or trying to shove you out of the way while you're taking photos of stuff, which is BS. And right there with you. They just don't appreciate what they're able to do, but they also think they're going to be the next biggest thing, and it's like, what are you trying to do? You're not going to be printed in anything nationally anymore. I mean, I've been in Rolling Stone. I've been in Complex. I've been in Spin.
Yeah.
I'm still here doing this,
Yeah.
It's like, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
what do you think you want to do?
I think it sets a bad example for people starting out, especially that don't know. Like I've seen girls with prisms in the pit, and I'm like, what is this person doing? And even some of the big festivals, I've seen people dancing and doing. I'm like, you're supposed to be taking photos.
I've seen guys that work for the Observer use prisms in the pit. He knows who I'm talking to.
I see glare.
It's one of those things that I think that you just gotta kind of roll with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't be bitter and complain about all that stuff, because it's not going to get you anywhere.
No.
It's funny though. It is funny to have a conversation about it, because I used to be very like territorial in the pit. I didn't want anybody in there. Like, this is my pit. I'm the house guy. This and that. And then later, I learned to play nice, and I actually appreciated it a lot. Because I shot with Daniel Martinez. I think he's an incredible photographer.
Yeah.
And unfortunately he hasn't been able to do a whole lot, but I thought he was incredible. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, dude, you're such a good photographer. My buddy Ronnie Jackson is a great photographer too. And I learned to really look forward to shooting with certain people in the pit, because I was like, I would look at Daniel's photos sometimes, and I was like, what the fuck was I doing when he got that?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
I walk backwards, I walk forwards, and I'm like falling on my ass and getting hit by this guy at a Slayer show where it's a tea pit and people are just flying everywhere. And and these guys would get some of these photos, and I was like, damn. And my friend Ronnie, he shoots, the way he shoots is crazy, because we're very similar. Like, I've shot shows with him where he's on one end and I'm on the other end, and we get the exact same shot, just at a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, dude. And so, I think that's one thing that I think is awesome, and I think that it's just, I think about it, and I think sometimes we get jaded with some of that stuff, but sometimes I'll look at them and I'll be like, damn, I got that.
Yeah.
That's my shot.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, fuck, what did I do? How did I miss that? But it's nice to have that camaraderie, and I think we all get along. I think I've always gotten along with all you guys, and sometimes I come off as kind of a jerk or whatever, because I don't talk to a lot of people, and just because I feel like I'm not going to see you again next week.
Well, you can tell that too.
Yeah.
Some of the shows we go to, what's great is when we all show up to a show to shoot it, and it's like homecoming, and
Yeah.
we're all hanging out,
Yeah.
and having fun, and shooting the shit. But then there'll be like you say, there's a handful of people there that show up, and you're like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, who are you doing this for? Or why? I've never seen you before,
How did you get this?
and I'll never see you again.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah, and like I try to help as many people as I can. Like I've gotten passes for people in New York and other cities because I travel a lot to shoot shows, and sometimes I know that I went to Canada and shot a show, and everybody's like, who's this guy? Because it was like their little core group, and but I went on my dime. Nobody paid me to go out there and do it. I do it because I love that. You know what I mean? And it's cool, and you get to see these different cities. And you get to really see them. Those bands don't get to see them because they're in that bus the whole time.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy, and I think that some people just don't appreciate that, and they don't understand the complexity of what we do. And I think I've sold maybe a handful of photos. I've given away more than I've ever sold.
I've given away
Yeah.
a lot more than.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I gave Zach Wilde's wife a bunch of photos, and John 5, I've given him a bunch of photos. Corey Taylor, I've given photos to. Jonathan Davis. And I don't really think about selling them. You know what I mean? It's very rare. I'll sell them to like you if you want a photo. I'll be like, you pay for the canvas and that's your photo.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell it to you for $500. Canvas is $38. Pay the shipping. Here, there's your photo, $50.
Yeah. I've given everything to artists
Yeah.
before, but if someone else wants a print, yeah.
Yeah. And then even then I don't gouge them or nothing because to me, it's like it's already there. And a lot of, I think a couple of weeks ago I went crazy and I found a bunch of old stuff because there was these old hard drives that I didn't even know were around, and I found them and I'm like, holy crap, look at all this stuff. And there was some great photos that I'd never even seen.
That's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell?
But
I
you-
shot this band? What?
But you know what's, yeah, exactly. That's me at Trees. I didn't
Yeah.
know. I was like, I shot them? When did they play Trees? I don't know. I think I was drunk. I don't know. Yeah, so I think that's it, I was so discouraged. I think in 2015 or 14, I lost the entire Lightroom catalog with all the adjustments. Mm-hmm. And I found some of the photos with the logo later, but I went and redid the ones that were my favorites, and it's crazy because some of these were like in 2000 and in 2024, and I found the old ones, and I'm like, damn. I cropped it exactly, almost the same, and the color and everything was the same. I was like, that's weird.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, but it's weird, though,
Yeah.
because you're like, it's like my eye hasn't changed, and the tone and everything that I use hasn't changed. And it's cool, but yeah.
So we haven't even got to the Trees stuff yet because you worked at Trees,
Yeah.
Bomb Factory,
Trees Bomb Factory. That was
Canton
interesting.
Hall.
I did a lot of stuff for Trees at the beginning when they reopened. Like there was a guy named Trey Campbell. I want to shout out to Trey Campbell because
Remember Trey? Yeah.
Trey was great. Trey, I loved his photos. He's actually the guy that got me to switch from Canon to Nikon because I thought that was what I needed to be a better photographer. And it was the tone of the photos. People ask me, what's the difference between Canon and Nikon? Canon is a soap opera. Nikon is a film. And by that, I mean like the clarity.
Yeah,
And the clarity in the image is different.
totally.
Nikon is more cinematic and it looks cool.
Yep.
It's grainy. It's nice. You can create that on a Canon, but it's not the same thing.
And lower light is
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
than a Nikon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
doing concerts and stuff, it does
Yeah,
help.
but Ronnie's photos, he's on Canon guy, and they're great.
Yeah.
So there was that. That's your misconception of the day. But so Trey was there, and he got a couple of photos, and Clint put him on the wall, and I was like, man, this guy, I got to meet him. So to make it short, I saw him one night, and I'm like, dude, I love your photos. He's like, I love your photos. And I'm like, man, this is a great gig. He goes, this isn't my club, man. I just come out here and shoot. He goes, you know what? He goes, I won't come back. And he didn't come back. And so
What?
I became the house photographer. Just like that.
Damn.
That's how you got it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how I got
What
it.
kind of bullshit is that?
True story, buddy.
What the hell?
True story, yeah. And I did. It's crazy because me and my ex-wife would come down every single night that there was a show, and we lived in Roanoke.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I don't even remember half the times that we came down, and I became friends with Clint, the owner. And it turns out that Clint is from El Paso,
Okay.
So that was another little bond between us. And sometime, I think it was around 2018, is he asked me, he goes, hey, you should come work for me at Bomb Factory. And I'm like, what am I going to do there? And he's like, well, I'll put you in marketing or something, or in ticket sales or something. I was like, okay. And I remember getting there, and I just went and sat at a desk, and everybody's like, there's no show right now. What are you doing here? And because I used to shoot shows.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm working here now. No, you're not. And I mean, I got so much pushback. And then, and so eventually they kind of warmed up to me, and I started getting the passes through them. But I could still get my own, you know. But I basically figured out the whole room, and everybody started going and looking at the room, because the room is it's a great place to shoot.
It is.
If you've got the access, it's one of the best places to shoot. That room is beautiful.
I love that room.
Yeah.
I love shooting there.
And even Canton Hall is great. If you're up on top in that balcony, you get some amazing. Canton Hall has the best line of sight in any other club that I've been to. Even though it's weird shaped, you can still get a shot from anywhere.
Were you here when it was Deep Ellum Live?
Yes,
Okay.
I got to go to a couple shows there. But anyway, to kind of shorten the story, I started shooting there, and I think that's kind of what really blew up when Live Nation and them started asking me to shoot the shows at Jexa and all that. Because I was actually the beginning. They offered me that gig before Roman and them had it. But I was like, I can't do this. I don't have time. There's no way I can do this. And I mean, I basically bumped up the scale from what they used to play Joel. I bumped it up to the dollar amount that I got. And I think that, I'm not sure, but I believe Roman and Jamie got that amount later. Because they were paying hardly anything. And I was like, you got to pay me this much. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, that's what I charge. And they're like, okay. And they kind of questioned it, but then they were like, yeah, take it. But yeah, I got to do those shows and work at those venues, and I got to meet everybody I ever wanted to meet, and it was great, and we got to see the artists back there, and I think between that and the stuff I did with Ronnie, it was the all the festivals that we got to do with Danny Wimmer and Nothing More. That was the coolest, and I'm grateful to Clint, because Clint really opened up a lot of doors, and he later, when they split, the club split. I could have stayed at Bomb, or I could have gone with Trees. I don't know if that was really a choice that I had, but I went with Clint, and I became the box office manager and the
at Trees.
At Trees, I became the box office manager and the marketing director.
Who owns Bomb Factory now?
I believe it's Westdale.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I ended up with him, and that's how I did it. And and I never had any photos on either one of the venues. They never put any of my photos up, and.
Really?
Yeah. One day we were doing the Toys for Tots ding, and one of the old door guys was one of the Marines. He's like, dude, I love your work. And I go, thanks, man. And he's like, no, I mean like the stuff on the walls. That's great that you have all your photos on the wall and stuff. I'm like, honestly, buddy, none of those photos are mine. And he's like, what? I go, yeah, none of them are mine. And Clint's like, what do you mean they're not yours? Those are yours. I go, none of those photos are mine. And his girlfriend's like, those aren't his. You really don't have any photos of James? And he's like, I do. And then like a couple of days later, he sent me an email. He's like, hey, send me some photos. And so he had them all redone, and he put them all on the wall. And so all the photos now are mine. Every single
I seriously thought that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but
those were yours every time I went in there.
No, every single photo that's there now, all the black and whites, they're all mine.
Okay.
So yeah, but I never got photos anywhere else. And I've done I did some stuff for how they have these contests for the Observer and all that. And Andrew actually approached me one time about doing the galleries.
The one he did down there at
yeah, and they basically they told me, and then we never did it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because of competition or because of the quality or the difference in my work. They just didn't do it. And I've never been bitter about that stuff. It's never bothered me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what does it matter? You know what I mean? I know what I can do, and I know, I have friends that I know are better than me, and that maybe they should get the opportunity. But when you give the opportunity to people that don't really understand it, and I'm not saying you have to pay your dues in this, because you don't. I think as long as you have you can build yourself, like you guys with your podcast. I mean, if you guys you can build whatever you want. People can say whatever they want about anybody that does any kind of podcast.
Yeah.
But if there's merit behind it and there's truth behind it and you're enjoying it, who cares what anybody thinks?
Yeah.
You don't need anyone's approval.
I got a
Right.
plaque from the Fort Worth Weekly. What was it? 2022, 2023 Photographer of the Year.
Nice.
And it got me absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
I've
It's
done
just-
I did 2 interviews with
Accolades, neat.
It's kind
Yeah.
of like
Neat.
like bands today in the Texas market that are chasing that number one on the radio.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, man, I got 7 number ones on the radio,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Well, that okay."
yeah. What is
But
that?
how many people
Yeah.
are you bringing to a show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Oh.
nobody.
That's a conversation.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a
That-
massive one.
The only cool thing about me winning that award was like I got to looking because I was like, how did I get this in? Like I didn't even know it was a category or whatever. But then the previous years were like some newborn family photographer that has a studio in Fort Worth, and I was like, okay, well that's cool. You can break up the monotony of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew asked me to do his podcast about 2 years ago, and I had done some stuff with the Observer, and I think that's how he found out about me because I don't think he knew who I was.
Y'all hadn't shot shows together at that point.
I think we'd shot maybe 1 or 2, but he didn't really talk to me. And he asked me to do the podcast, and it was cool though because he was really good, and he let me rip into everything I wanted to. But we did that, and I think it was his number one podcast for like a long time until he did was it the Toadies he did recently?
No, he the one that blew up was
He did one recently.
what's his name from Old 97s?
Okay,
Rhett Miller?
Yeah, Rhett Miller.
Yeah,
Rhett Miller
Yeah.
blew up. Yeah,
I think that's it. But mine was like number one for like 3 years or something like that. The whole time he'd been doing it,
yeah.
and it was cool.
That was like you were like the 5th or 6th episode he
Yeah.
ever did,
Yeah.
and they were short. It was like 20 minutes.
Now this one, I think mine was an hour.
Was it?
Yeah, it was good. It was interesting because I said a bunch of things about a bunch of people, and I didn't really hold back, And I think what he's doing is good. I think a lot of it is just I don't know. I think there's a lot of animosity with a lot of photographers and a lot of the business, and just because some people don't understand it and they don't get it, and they again it goes back to I think I'm this, I think I'm that, and you're not.
And see, that's what I don't get. And the animosity side of it, I get it. Like all of us that have been doing it for a while don't really feel that way. I don't feel like there's any animosity between what we're doing.
Yeah.
We all appreciate each other's work. We all
Right.
appreciate what each other's doing, and shooting stuff that each other aren't. Or like I said, when we're all together and we're just having fun
Yeah.
shooting, that's a great night. The animosity I feel myself is, like I said earlier, it's the youngsters that have no etiquette
Yeah.
in the pit, and they don't respect what you've been doing.
Yeah.
And what you've done. I mean, it's not like you wear a shirt that says, I've done all
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
But it's still, there's one asshole in particular, and he got banned for a while, and then he started showing up at Southside again.
Yeah.
But elbow.
Yeah.
He would elbow everybody.
Yeah.
And I saw him.
I remember him. Yeah.
He elbowed a girl in the face one night while shooting.
Ooh.
Trying to push her out of the way,
Damn.
slipped, hit her in the face. I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But he would break the rules all the time. He'd be shooting video in the photo pit, which is a no-no.
You're not talking about Michael Insertante, right?
No.
Or whatever. Oh, because that guy, he's the Jam Magazine guy.
Yeah, no.
And that I think everybody that's ever worked for Jam Magazine has been banned at some point or another.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Before we get into the darkness of
Yeah.
this whole career, favorite band, favorite venue you've shot?
Funny because when I was a kid, I grew up in El Paso, and there was these 2 guys that loved Judas Priest.
Mm-hmm.
Loved Judas Priest. I mean, they would dress up like the guys and all this stuff. And, I was a big Motley Crue fan and stuff. But, I mean, I think I've been asked this a few times, and it's funny. My favorite band is Judas Priest.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be Iron Maiden or something, you know what I mean? Because I always loved Iron Maiden and Scorpions and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, something about Judas Priest. They're just, I don't know, their catalog, and those guys put out albums after album, and they're still good.
Yeah.
Whether they tweak his voice or whatever, I don't care. It's great. It just sounds awesome. So Judas Priest, I've seen them live, and also thought it was amazing.
Did you ever see, because I think he came through Trees when Rob did the 2 album,
No,
and he was the full-on, like, goth
no,
everything?
no,
Okay.
I never saw that.
What about with Ripper Owens?
With Ripper Owens, no. It wasn't risk. I didn't really realize how much I loved Judas Priest until maybe the last 5 or 10 years. And I didn't realize that they did a lot of covers.
Yeah.
Especially on one of my favorite live albums ever is the Unleashed in the East. Mm-hmm. Which is, I don't know why, because I hate live albums.
I love albums.
But that album is amazing. But yeah, so that's my favorite band. A favorite venue. God, I want to say Bomb Factory, because that's really one of my favorites of all time. I love Toyota just because of the stage height.
I like Toyota a lot.
And you can get so many great shots. And you can pan down, and sideways, move around, and do a lot more. I think for photography, that's one of the best ones. And also, the Woodlands,
the Cynthia
Woods. It's also great, and they treat you with respect. They give you like drink tickets, and when you're a photographer, they're awesome.
Well, and that's still that's the old Starplex setup down
is
there.
It? Yeah,
with the slower stage and
absolutely,
everything.
Yes. Yeah. So I think Bomb Factory is my favorite. I've shot a lot of venues because I've got to travel a lot, so it's cool. But Bomb Factory it has the best line of sight. Also, I think it's hard if you're on the floor, but if you get up on top, you can see everything, and it just
I love being on top of there.
The aesthetics of it and the visual of it, it's great.
Shooting from the back of the room at the soundboard is fantastic.
Yeah. It's kind of biased, and I think Clint would kill me if he heard that, but I think it's just an amazing room. I think I got some of my best shots at that place, and I know competition-wise, I know there's a lot of bands. I mean, a lot of photographers that kind of copied a lot of that, and they used it.
Yeah.
Because I actually got hired at Southside, and the guy took me up to the balcony. So I didn't know there was a balcony on the top of Southside.
At Southside Ballroom?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It's up there, dude. It's a hanging balcony.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, it's
weird.
It's a hanging deathbed is what it is. Because if you step on the wrong plate, you're going to fall through that floor.
It's like a weight limit on it too.
Yes.
You got to be all
Yeah.
Like worse than a rickety fire
Won't be
escape.
going up there
Like.
anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Oh no, I don't. No, you don't want to go up there. And I'm pretty light. I mean, if you're anything taller than me, even 3 or 4 inches taller than me, you're going to fall through that thing. But anyway, I went up there, and the guy walked me up there, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for coming out, and this and that." And I said, "Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it." And he goes, "You're not going to be able to shoot this anymore. You won't be shooting here anymore." And I said, "Oh, I know." And I said, "Are they copying my shots?" He goes, "Yeah, they're going to copy your angles, and you know who we're talking about."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." It's like, "I don't care, dude." I said, "I'm good." He goes, "I like your work." I go, "Thanks, man." That's the old guy. I don't know his name, but he's a really cool dude. But yeah, he flat out told me, and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." I said, "It doesn't bother me, bud." And it was. I guess I should have taken it as a compliment, because somebody was actually copying my work. But yeah, they basically told me, like, even the same thing at Jexa. They told me, shoot how you shoot at Bomb Factory. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna let me shoot where I want? He's like, yeah. And I got these really cool shots and stuff, and I think that's cool, And I've never been.
You ever gone on the catwalk at Jexa?
I have not. I've seen it on a couple of shows, but I've never been up there. Have you been up there?
Mm-mm.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I think the liability thing is one of those things, and since it's a Live Nation thing, it's hard. Because even with AEG, it's a little strict. I got into it with AEG before I left Bomb Factory because I was supposed to shoot Megan Thee Stallion, and they approved like 20 photographers, and I was working the box office, and I couldn't get away because we had a customer issue, so I wasn't even able to shoot it. But I was like, Megan Thee Stallion, I don't care. It didn't mean anything to me. So a couple of days later, I saw a couple of photos out there that people were posting, and other photographers were posting, like we say, the photographers that you're never going to see again.
Yeah.
Apparently, nobody turned in their photos. So who did they come after? Me.
Why?
Because, we gave you a photo pass. We expected you to get these photos. And I'm like, you know what, guys? I said, you don't give me anything. I can get whatever you give me, I can get myself. I don't need you to do it. I don't need you to give me a photo pass. And so they're like, well, you're never going to shoot a show in here again. I'm like, you want to bet? And they're like, yeah, you're not going to shoot a show. 3 days later, I shot a show because I got my own pass. And I was like, you know, you're trying to threaten me because I didn't shoot the show that you gave 19 other passes to and nobody turned them in? Go after those guys. I mean, I would have shot it.
Did they not tell them we need approval before?
I don't know.
So they
Point is, that pit was full.
Yeah.
And you know, and I was actually going to go and shoot it, but it was just, there was so many people in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they're like, they kept calling me on the radio, hey, you got to come up here. There's a customer up here. I'm like, okay. Because it was a crazy show. You know, and another one that I thought was really cool, and this will be the last one we'll talk about, is we had the last AEG show we had at Trees. It was contractual, and it was what's his name, Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator is amazing. He did 3 shows. He did Los Angeles, New York, and Dallas.
Did he only do one night?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was in Trees, and he let me shoot the show.
Nice.
And
That's
it was cool. And
Cool.
I never posted them. You know, I have them.
Yeah.
And I'll post them eventually. But it was nice, and I did post a video that was amazing, and I loved it. But it was cool that they let me shoot the whole show.
Were you working at Trees when Deftones released?
Yes.
What was that? Was that?
Yeah. It was Diamond Eyes.
Diamond Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to shoot their meet and greet that day before, and then I got to shoot them that night. But that was back when I wasn't very good.
That was wild that they
Yeah.
Trees for the album release. Really? Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was again, it was contractual. You know, a lot of that stuff people don't understand how it works, and you don't really want to go into it because I don't think it's supposed to be disclosed. But I think a lot of it is just that's how it is. You know, they'll rent the room and they'll get the fame, just like you'll open for a band and you're like, oh, I toured with Metallica. No, you didn't. You paid to play with Metallica.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's a nice gem for somebody that doesn't know. But when you really understand it, it's kind of like pay for play when you used to play the DJs back in the 70s to play your song.
Yeah.
Payola.
Yeah.
Payola.
Yeah, you had the rub elbows and all this stuff just to do it, you know. And
Right.
and I mean, everything's got an angle. Everything's got an angle.
Totally.
And you know, and it's part of the game, and you just play it, you know.
Yep.
And I think the thing with us as photographers, I think that we don't really fit into that piece, and it's good that we don't fit into that piece. And there's people that are going to do it, that are going to push themselves and elevate their status by doing things that probably don't need to do. But you know, I think it doesn't really matter. You know, like you said, it doesn't really change anything. It doesn't change who you are, and it doesn't make you a bigger photographer, a bigger artist. You just have to understand that where you're at, that's what you should be happy where you're at.
Right.
And you know, yeah, you do want to elevate yourself, and you might get lucky. Like my buddy that shoots, God, I forgot the name of that band, Whiskey Meyer, or Whiskey Myers, I think.
Whiskey Myers.
Yeah, and he's been with them for what now, 5 years or 6? No, I think he's been with them longer.
Yeah.
And he tours with them everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's a great gig.
Yeah.
Not a
Chris
gig for
Pogue.
me, because I would probably be drunk or dead somewhere.
What was that, Craig?
Chris Pogue.
Yes, Chris Pogue. Yeah. You know, I'd probably be dead because I drink so much that I would be in the moment so much that I wouldn't.
Yeah.
So I think that's reserved for some people, and some people can do that. And I think that it's a great choice taking him.
Yeah.
You know, because he's an incredible kid. He's a young kid.
Yeah.
And you know, he's learned to intermingle with that and
Right.
live with it. It's great.
Yeah.
Because those gigs don't exist anymore.
Yeah. It's hard.
You know, those things don't. You know, you can't, like we said earlier. You know, you're in a van and you're there, and that's what you are. You have a bus, great. You know, but it doesn't really change how you tour. You know,
No.
it doesn't change how anything is.
No.
The only thing is the income and what's in your pocket and what's not in your pocket.
Right.
And I think that's we're kind of like the last clean piece of that. You know, I mean, obviously some of us get manipulated into doing certain things or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's great. I've never done it for money. I've never done it for any of that because it doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that you know, I think my favorite experience, and this is the last thing I'll talk about, is I got a photo pass from Metallica the whole show in El Paso, and I fucked it all up because my camera was out of focus the whole time.
Ugh.
And
Oh,
so
man.
the shots are awful, and there's a couple of nice ones in there, but I mean, it was just me and their guy shooting
Yeah.
the whole show in my hometown. And that was very disappointing for me.
Man.
And
That's a bummer.
Yeah, and it you know, and I look at it, and I'm like, but you know what? But go back and look at it and without being upset about it. I'm like, that was an experience. And I've always said, it's here. I don't care about what's there because I lived it. So it doesn't matter that it's not there, but I wish I would have had it. But it's still cool. I've been able to fix them with the new technology that almost makes your photo.
Cleans it up
And stuff.
Pulls it all in.
But that was an honor for my friend, that did that for me. He's like, hey, he goes, because I did some work for him with Lindsey Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
And I did 5 shows with Lindsey Sterling. And
Oh,
it
that's
was
cool.
Yeah, and she was really nice girl. Super, super nice and genuine. And he was doing some stuff with her, and I got to do like her meet and greets and stuff and shoot the show. And then one day he just calls me and he's like, hey, he goes, I know you like Metallica a lot. I know you lived in El Paso. You want to shoot him?
No, I don't.
And I was like, well, yeah. I said, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, and I thought to myself, well, 3 songs, that's cool. And then when I got to the thing, the guy's like, here you go. And I looked at it, it says
AAA?
Full access. And I was like, and then it said just no stage. And that was it. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
And dude, that was crazy because I have never shot in a venue where they didn't harass me constantly. They didn't bother me at all. Like nobody bothered me.
Nice.
Not one staff member, nobody said anything to me.
And all your shit was out of focus.
And all my shit was out of focus.
Dude.
I know, dude. I was so pissed. And
Were you, that had to be and the moment you get home and you look at it and you're like, oh my God.
yeah, dude, it was awful. You know what I mean? And that's when I wasn't wearing my glasses and I didn't know I really needed them and stuff. But yeah, I mean that I did the same thing with Metallica and Rammstein. They were all out of focus. Red Hot Chili Peppers was all out of focus. And
Your
those are all-
Rammstein photos are out of
Yeah.
focus?
And those are
Rammstein.
all bands that I've never shot and I'll never shoot again because the approval process for those bands is impossible.
They're on my list.
Who?
Rammstein.
Oh, dude,
To shoot them.
the pit in Vegas was I think 20 feet.
Damn.
The pit. That's how much space you
insane.
had. 20 feet you had to shoot them.
Well, I guess you have to kind of back the crowd up from pyrotechnics and everything. And
Yeah, but I mean, come on, think about it. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah.
Is there anyone you haven't shot that you want to or wish?
I wish I would have shot David Bowie.
That would be 2 of us.
What's her name? Amy Winehouse. Because I was around at that time. I just didn't know anything about her. Now, currently,
I wish I would have shot Adele at Granada.
really,
You know how cool that would have been?
Yeah.
Just be like, I've got these photos from the Granada of Adele.
yeah. You know what, dude? I don't really think that there's anybody that I'd want to shoot now, because I don't really see anything like that. I don't.
Are you jaded?
I think I was up until about 2 years ago when I started going back to doing the photos.
Yeah.
Because I got to where I was shooting some bands, like I think we talked about Deftones. I think I've shot 19 or 20 times.
Yeah.
To where it got to where I'm like, okay, I've got so many Chino photos. Who have I not shot? And I did that with Korn because Korn's the same. I've shot them about the same amount of time. And I hated Korn. I don't know why. I never
Really?
liked Korn. I couldn't stand Korn. But when I saw the show the first time, I was like, holy shit, these guys are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I would have seen them younger, but I didn't. But yeah, I think that's one of those. I think I was jaded for a while.
First time I saw Korn was at Trees.
Really?
Yeah. And they had already played here a few times because they played Fort Worth, the Engine Room, over in Fort Worth. But yeah.
Wow.
First time
Yeah.
I saw them was at Trees.
No, man. Yeah. And I don't think there's anybody that I really want to shoot. That I'd like to do the reshoots. Like I'd love to get Iron Maiden again. I put in for.
When did you shoot Iron Maiden?
I shot them 2 years ago, and I shot them house
Where at?
and in Austin.
In Austin.
Because the girl that used Tegan, that used to be the girl at Jexa, hit me up, and she goes, "I remember talking to you one time, and you said you loved Iron Maiden." I go, "Yeah," and I said, "But they'll never approve me because they only approve big people, like big number."
Like me. Because
Like
I
me.
held it over your head forever.
Yeah, that's right, you did.
I was like, look at all these awesome photos of Iron
You're
Maiden
gonna
I
have to
got.
edit out what's gonna happen here in a second.
I was like, look, I got
Don't put
shit
that
on
evil
eBay.
on me.
Yeah, you did. I remember that. And and it was funny because but you didn't get to go on the plane. I got to go on the plane.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
Oh, the 747, the
Yes.
Bruce Dickinson flies?
Yes.
Shit.
But so she hit me up and she's like, "I'll let you shoot house," and I was like, "Okay." So I shot at house, and some of those were pretty blurry too because that was that little phase where I told you my camera was all out of sync.
Jacking out, yeah.
But yeah, I think
You weren't at Dickies with us?
no,
This last time they came through and they
No.
did Dickies?
no.
I thought you were there with us.
That's the only time I ever shot him. I mean, I begged Mike Brooks one time, Like, dude, I'll give you money. I'll give you whatever you want to let me shoot from. Because you've shot him like 30 times, dude. Stop. And he's like, no, I got to do it for the Observer. I'm like, okay, whatever, that's fine. But I mean, that was one of the bands that I always wanted to shoot. I thought they were amazing, not because of Eddie and all that, but because they had the 3 guitarists.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just to be able to keep up with each other. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the ones that I want to do again. That's my do-over. But yeah. Oh, and Slipknot's also one of my favorites because there's so much to see. The whole stage thing and everything is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shot them once because doing stuff for the Blitz, there's a guy over there that's a gigantic Slipknot fan, so I've been like, okay, it's cool. You go shoot them. They're your favorite band, whatever.
That's cool.
I'm fine with that.
It's always cool when you have a connection and somebody takes care of you like that because it's one of those things that you sometimes you feel like people don't care about what you're doing and you're just kind of like you feel like you're in this bubble.
But when you get the phone call out of nowhere that you haven't talked to the person in like 2 years, and they're like, "Oh, Metallica's coming to town. I want to go shoot them." You're like, "No, I'm sorry, no."
Yeah,
That
that's the Trees thing with the, hey, so can I get a couple of tickets for this? And I'm willing to do it for anybody when I work there.
Yeah,
I've never been like that. It's when the guy calls you that you haven't talked to in like 3 years, and you're like, really? You want a ticket? No.
Yeah.
And even then, I would sometimes say yes. Like when Jack White came around, everybody was my best friend.
Yeah.
And I hooked up the guys at the radio station and people that I knew that were going to.
Why did they need to hook up?
Well, but you know what I mean. Well, no, because they can't get in. Some of those they can't. Like the ticket, those guys on the ticket, they don't get that stuff. Like for Jack White, oh no way, man. But I hooked them up and I got him a table upstairs and everything.
Corby talks a big game, but
yeah. No, but he was cool. I'm like he mentioned me on the podcast, and he mentioned Trees, and I thought that was good. And that's why I did it, because I thought that would be cool for Trees.
Yeah.
Because nobody was doing anything. I mean, they were really tight with all that stuff. They were super tight. Like his team was on it for everything.
They always are.
Just like Rammstein people. I mean, those guys, you can't do anything around those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on you like glue, and there's 5 or 6 people escorting you to the pit. It's crazy. And they're signing that paper, and they're making sure, and they look at your license to see if the signature is the same. It's like, okay, what am I doing?
Huh?
Are you taking my next born or what? What's going on? Yeah. But yeah, it's cool, dude. Yeah.
No joke.
So do you have anything to say for people that are wanting to get into this world or starting to get into this world?
I mean, the only advice I can give you is just I think just really learn the etiquette and just kind of really see what's there and make sure that's what you want to do, and really understand that you're not really going to be the next Amy or Neil or whatever, because you're not. You know what I mean? It's just those positions are like acting, and like anything else, they're already taken.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do that. I mean, you'll get lucky, because there are people that got lucky that'll do it, but most of those people don't. Rob Fenn, I mean, amazing photographer, but what is he doing now?
I have no idea.
He's not doing anything. I mean, he's still selling his photos because he was smart in the way that he structured it with Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
And he kept the rights to a lot of that stuff, so he's allowed to sell them. But he's not doing anything. He runs a coffee shop in Utah. And it's his coffee brand or whatever. But
what about the guys that are coming up that are just trying to get out and shoot, that are
want access?
That want access, right? What's the? Do you have anything for those guys?
To be honest with you, I think you have to find somebody that's going to actually help you, but you also got to deliver on what you're doing. Because I've helped people in New York and in other cities, and they'll want John Mayer, and yet I've never shot anybody ever in my life. And you have to really understand that you have to start somewhere small.
Yeah.
And if you get lucky, turn it into work. Because those people are putting their reputation on the line to help you. Because everyone that I've worked with, I've built on that. And I think that it's easy for you to say, oh, I want to shoot this, and then not turn it in and be like, I'm going to go to the next guy. It's a really small world. I've had people that have used my name, and they'll publish, the agent will reach out to me and be like, did you authorize this in here? I'm like, no. Okay, good. That's what I thought. And I think that's one of the things that's very important, that you realize that this is a small business. It seems like a huge business, but everybody knows everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially TMs and the PR agents. They all know each other, and they all intermingle. You know, and you know, some of them are really good, and some of them aren't so good. But you have to respect it for whatever it is. Because I've been in situations where I've flown somewhere, and they're like, "There's no pass." I'm like, "There's no what?" There's no pass. And I'm just like scrambling, you know what I mean? And somebody will vouch for me, or somebody will be like, "Oh yeah, this guy's from Texas," or I'll be like, "Hey, I came from Texas." Well, you need to talk to someone. And I've never been left out, you know. And there's times that I've been really scared, you know. I have a buddy that shoots for me in El Paso that was kind of, I want to say douchey, because he was, and we ended up becoming friends, and now he shoots for me. But he kind of picked on me and kind of screwed himself, because then he couldn't get in. And it was because of me being friends with Slipknot's agent that I was able to get him in. And so I was like, you always gotta, you know, you gotta pick your battles, because you never know who can help you, and that's really important. I think that's one of the things that it's probably the most important thing to understand, that it's a small business. It's a small world, and you know, respect the people around you, because you're not going to get anywhere like that, and you're really not going to get anywhere. You should do it because it's something that you want to do, and hang up on your wall and say, I did that. It's not, you know, it's not like being an influencer or anything like that. That has its own different world.
Yeah.
You know, and to me that's important, because that's the only reason I do it.
And don't expect to get your favorite band.
Right.
And if you really want to, you know, make waves and get your name out there, shoot other genres than your favorite genre.
Absolutely.
Go out, shoot country.
Yeah.
Shoot, you know, Latin music, shoot gospel music, shoot all this stuff. The shows that are coming to town.
Yeah.
So that way you're getting your name out there.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. I think right now obviously we've been in this cycle for a while where everything's instant gratification.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting what you want, you get discouraged or you get upset. Just keep trying. It's a process. It's all a process. I got very lucky, and I've been very fortunate, like even with my jobs.
Yeah, you just took over trees. Like a hostile takeover.
Yeah, and
takeover.
it's
Good God.
And I've been very fortunate with that stuff. You know what I mean? And I think I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, but there's people that don't, and there's people that feel entitled to certain things, and it's wrong. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I had a friend that was actually going to work at Dickies, and he had Asperger's, or that's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
And you know, he was like, we used to work with him at Apple, and he was like, man, you know, I'm going to get to shoot Dickies, and what do you think I should do? I should charge some money. I'm like, first of all, buddy, don't try to charge money. Don't say money. You don't know what you're doing.
Let it come to you.
Yeah. You don't know what you're doing. Learn how to do it, and then do it. He shot there twice, and he was booted out.
He was there the first show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first show technically was like Clint Black,
Right.
the private show, but then the second show was 21 Pilots, and I never saw him again.
Yep. He got to shoot. What's that religious band? There's a religious band that's really popular. The girl drummer and the bass player. Skillet. Yes, and that's because I got him that show. But then he disappeared after that, and we know why he disappeared. And that should be a discussion for you for your next week. Yeah, that was one of the things that really bothered me. I mean, that really bothered me because you know, if I've shot this band 10 times and you were to tell me, hey, James, you think I could shoot him? Sure.
That's the way I am.
Yeah. I mean, would I be like, God, I really want to shoot him again? Yeah, probably. But it doesn't mean I have to shoot him again. You know, the other day I got approved for Les Claypool. And there's a girl on that, Crystal Chisholm, I believe is her full name or her real name. I just reached out to her because I've liked her photography. I've been watching her photos. They're really nice photos. She uses a really nice filter. And I said, would you be interested in shooting the show? I can't pay you. Didn't even have to say anything else. She's like, yeah, cool. And I gave her the barcode so she didn't have to pay for the parking and all that. And
nice.
She sent me the photos the next day. I mean, not the next day, the same day. I was like, wow.
That's nice.
And and I said, I just need like 5 or 10 photos. No, she sent me like 50 photos.
Nice.
And I mean, you know, it's that kind of, that's who you want to help. And those are the people that really understand it. You know, and that's what's cool. I respect that more than any other thing. You know what I mean? You know, I used to be petty when I wouldn't get like a wedding or I wouldn't get something because I was like, oh well, you know, all you do is shoot bands. Like, do you know how hard it is to shoot a band? Do you know how much work is involved in shooting a band and being able to light it?
Yeah.
There's no lighting. You know, I could just set up some lights and take pictures of you and your husband all night.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I may not know how to pose you, but I can do your family photos. And it used to bother me, but then I realized it's like there's a genre for everything,
Yeah.
and you represent a certain genre, and it's nothing wrong with you deviating from it. But if that's what makes you happy, stick with that. You know, and I like it. You know, I like the landscape stuff, and I like it, but that's not my niche. But I'll do it, and I'm proud of what I've gotten in those shots. But ultimately, the band stuff is what really drives me, and I love it. And I think if you like music and you like photography, that's the best feeling walking out of a pit.
Do you go through the Live Nation portal anymore?
I have gone. I think I've gotten approved 3 times in the last 8 shows.
See, that's what a lot of people are starting to see. I put in for Rush like last year.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really expecting to grab that just because of how big the show was and everything and how much stuff was going on. But I thought it'd be cool to shoot the same band my dad toured with and shot. So I thought that'd be kind of cool.
You know, and Rush is. I wanted to shoot them so bad. I shot them already.
Yeah.
I got them once, and it was with Neil Peart. And actually, that's one of my favorite photos that I've ever gotten.
It was with Neil.
With Neil Peart, and it wasn't even. It didn't look good until I processed it, and I was like, "Holy crap! This is like a gem." I'll post it tonight on Facebook.
Did you shoot them digitally or film?
Digitally.
Digitally. Okay.
And the craziest thing is Jordan didn't know anything about them.
What?
And they gave him a 10th row seat on the floor, dude.
That's awesome.
Oh shit!
I was like, holy shit, that's like a $2,000 seat, dude.
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's awesome.
I'll write this shit.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, no, I'll write it. And he wrote me a novel, but it was great. It was a great novel. It was awesome. And I got some incredible photos. And it was just and I think that's one of the things that I love, that some of the best shows that I've shot have been the shows that I'm not expecting to get, because everything just stands still.
Yeah.
Like the first time I shot Kiss, I got the greatest Kiss photos I've ever gotten, but I felt like I was in there for like an hour. Everything was like, dude, you know how they say that the game slows down for like quarterbacks and stuff?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm in there and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm moving and you know, you see me walk backwards and do all this crazy shit, but I'm just like, I'm in this moment.
Yeah.
And I look at it, 1,000 photos in 3 songs. You know, and it's like I sold one of my cameras, my last digital non-mirrorless. I sold it the other day. 97,000 actuations.
Wow.
That's it?
That's it. Well, that's a 3-year-old camera.
Okay. Because I sold my first Z6 and it was like 350,000.
Yeah, the first one I sold with the first Nikon I had 260,000 actuations. And it just stopped working. And I sent it back to Best Buy and they fixed it. And then I sold it with 0 actuations. But it had 267,000. I was shooting Epica and it just
Dunk.
It's like, what happened? And it stopped working. Yeah. But it was crazy, dude. But yeah, that's I think I've shot I have to have shot at least 1.5 million photos.
Wow.
I'm going through old hard drives now
Yeah.
and rebuilding my website, and I'm starting to try to catalog stuff so it's a lot easier.
Shit, I can't.
It's insane,
Yeah.
but I'm right there with you. I'm like, I have 20 hard drives, that are just full.
Yeah, dude, same, and it's cool. I went through them. Sometimes I'll sit there and I'll just go through them, and it's just amazing. I wish I would have done that during the pandemic.
Yeah,
because I pissed away a lot of time during that time.
Well, see,
I think we all did.
Yeah.
I think speaking of the pandemic, I feel things changed for us at the pandemic hardcore, because we basically all started at 0 again. Mm-hmm. All the contacts were gone.
Yeah.
All the management was gone.
Yeah.
Everybody that worked anywhere, PR was gone.
Yeah.
They all moved on to other things.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. All of us trying to, well, who's doing this? Well, who's doing that? Well, who's here? Who's there? Who's there? Because none of us knew who was working
Right.
where, so we could get a hold of people to shoot these shows. And I feel that now, we're 5 years, 6 years later, it's kind of screwed things up because of the portal. I think Live Nation is like just gives it out now, when it used to be an elite thing to have that link to get in.
Yes.
Now you find out everybody's got it.
Yeah.
And it screws everybody over.
Yeah, and I don't think they really use any kind of system to really an approval system.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that was the thing that made it great for me. I kind of took it for granted, because if I got declined, that was like, what?
Yeah.
Because I got approved for everything. And you know, one time in Vegas, I got 4 photo passes for each, a photo pass for each band with 2 sets of tickets.
I've done that before.
So I had 8 tickets. And I was like, I'm looking for people. I'm like, hey, you want some pit tickets or you want some floor tickets? And they're like, you're just giving them away? I'm like, yeah. You know? And it was crazy. But, you know, and now it's like almost impossible. Like I thought I might get Rush because it was a couple of dates. I was like, maybe I'll get him, you know? I shot him before. I even sent the publicist the stuff. I said, look, I covered him back with Neil. Love to shoot him again. No response, nothing.
Well, the other thing that screwed everybody over was the first show was moved.
Yeah.
And usually when you have multiple shows,
Yeah.
and I didn't get my denial until the news came out that the show was
Me too.
moved.
Same.
And then I got my denial, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, the show's not starting.
Right. And that's what I thought. And I thought they'd
Yeah.
come back and say, like, oh, here, you're approved now.
Yeah.
And no, only Andrew and Roman and them shot it.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, you know, and it's okay. To me, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
It probably meant more for you, and that would have been, I mean, like, if I would have got it, you would have called me, and I'd be like, hey, you can have it. I already got Neil. That's what I wanted. But I think a lot of us don't really do that. Like, you know, even like, let's say you asked me, hey, James, you know, I never shot this. I'd like to shoot a show one time.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want to shoot.
Right.
You know, and as long as you follow the rules, you go shoot it.
Right.
And if you feel like, hey, I found something I like, you think I could do it again? Yeah, do it again.
Yeah.
You know, because that's something that I wish somebody would have done that for me, but I got lucky.
Right.
You know, now I'm not going to say that I worked really hard to do this, or because I didn't. I mean, I feel like I paid my dues at Trees because I shot all those shows at Trees, and I never got paid for any of it. But when I worked at Bomb, I got paid to shoot the shows.
Oh, okay.
And I got paid to do events. Like, they did an event, they bring me an envelope, here's some money. Awesome. This is what you do when you do this, you know?
Yeah.
But I never cared. Because to me, it was like, this is amazing. I mean, I got to see all these bands that I'd never seen and bands that were coming up, and you're like, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think doing it for the right reasons is why you should do it. If you don't really care, then don't, you know, I mean, it's fun to do it, but don't do it. Don't ruin it for everyone else.
That's the big thing, is don't think you're suddenly going to have a career in doing this.
Right.
You know, there are other ways to make money in music photography.
Yeah.
It's not shooting national bands that come through town.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not gonna be able to retire. You're not gonna have a nice 401k.
No.
doing that.
A band has a better opportunity to make it than you do.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think I've shot so many bands that I've charged, like local bands that I've charged to shoot their shows and stuff like that. And I kind of feel bad, but it's like that's the only place I'm going to make any kind of money.
That's what I do. Same thing.
You know what I mean? And nothing bothers me more, nothing insults me more. And I'm going to talk about this off camera when we're done. But nothing bothers me more than somebody that doesn't appreciate what you do and doesn't know the value of what you do. Or they do this for a living, but they don't want to pay you to do it. You see what I'm saying? So like, let's say like an artist says, hey, you know what? I want you to do this for me. And you're like, well, can you at least cover this? Well, no, I mean, I thought we were all friends. Well, yeah, no. I need, I make money, and I got to make some kind of money. I'm not going to be there 10 hours for you and then not get paid. Well, yeah, never mind then. And you're like, well, okay, I guess we're not friends. You know, and there's a difference in assuming, and then there's a difference in asking.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'd love for you to do this for me, but I can't pay you. Okay, cool. You think you can do it? Yeah, I'll do an hour or so. Or I'll just shoot your stuff and then I'll leave. But I'm not going to edit it. I'll just send it to you, and I'll give you 10 photos or 5 photos. Don't expect the 400 good photos, or don't expect this.
Yeah.
And I think that's also become a thing because everybody's a photographer now. You know, everybody's an influencer. Everybody's a content creator. Everybody's all these things that don't exist.
We're living in everybody's movie.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's the thing. And that, you know, and like this weekend when I was in Mexico, I wanted these photos, you know, and there's like all these tourists everywhere, including myself, and people going all the way up to the front and doing like 80 selfies. And the one guy that was with me, he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm waiting for these people to get out of the way so I can get the shot." Really? I'm like, yeah. And, you know, 20 minutes later or 15 minutes later, I came up with a photo, and they're like, "Damn, dude." And I said, well, look, now I can go on the internet and lie that I got the venue for myself, that I was the only one there. They closed it out, and, you know, everybody would believe me.
Yeah.
They would be like, "James, how did you do that?" I'm like, it's a lie.
Right.
Because it's a lie. Most of the stuff that's out there is a lie.
Yep.
You know, and some people fall for it and some people don't. But you could
Right.
probably fool everybody.
Yep.
And I mean, I literally just sat there 15 minutes and waited for that one opportunity
Yeah.
where everybody was gone and I was able to get it. Because you can get it. You just have to be patient,
Yeah.
and you'll get it. And so I think that's like everything else, like you were saying, that's the best thing to do. Be patient. Because if you're not patient, you're not going to get what you want. And if you're patient, somebody's going to come along and ask you. Like, look at this girl, Crystal. She never asked me for anything. I just said, you know, I wasn't able to shoot it because I was going out of town. And I just asked her, I said, "Hey, look, you want to shoot Les Claypool?" And she's like, "Yeah." Didn't have to explain anything to her. She's like, I'm on board. And that was better than having some guy coming up to you and try to haggle with me about getting the photo pass and doing all this and having to explain everything. And she just did it. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we want. We just want somebody that respects what we're doing, and they treat it with the same kind of respect.
Yeah.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
You know, and that's important. And I think that's what people have lost. Not just in this realm or in this genre or era or whatever, but just in general. There's no respect for anything or for anybody anymore. It's just
Yeah.
The short, like even in film, like recording, like it's gotten down to where people just prefer the 15-second clip versus watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it does suck because there's a lot of time put into that. There's a lot of time put into the editing and the filming and putting it all together and doing that. And then they're like, "Oh no, I saw your music video." And I'm like, "Well, what'd you see?" And they're like, "Well, I saw it on TikTok." So you didn't see the music, you saw an ad for it because it's not on there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I mean, I downloaded the song. Well, nobody downloads songs anymore. They stream them, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and I know as an artist, you know, you want the best representation of who you are.
Totally.
It doesn't matter if you're a local artist or a national artist or an up and coming artist.
Right.
It doesn't matter, you know, because I'm very thorough when I give you photos.
Yeah.
And if I post something,
Right.
I'm very careful that I don't put you in a bad light, and that's just always been me.
Sure.
No matter who it is.
Yeah.
You know, and some people think it's funny. "Oh, let's put this photo. Look, he looks like a marshmallow or whatever."
Right.
Why?
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't make sense.
You know, it doesn't make any sense. It's
Right.
like you're actually hurting yourself, but you don't realize you're hurting yourself.
Right.
And I think we've lost that. And I mean, to me, I've always been super careful. Even if I'm getting paid or I'm not getting paid, I'm just like, would I want that photo of myself on there? Probably not. And you know, like the other day, I posted something. I posted a photo of Sully, and it was kind of an up the nose shot, but it was the actual visual of the guitar player with the guitar in the air and him and he had the guitar in the air as well. It just looked cool. And somebody goes on there and posts a comment, "Oh, look at that, an up the nose shot." Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Because people are assholes. That's
Yeah.
why. Because
you know-
people, and everything's cutthroat.
And
Like-
They know if they're following you and they're commenting on your shit, they know that you're successful. Number
Yeah.
one, but they're always going to make some judgmental bullshit comment. That's what people do.
yeah, and you know, like I joke, you know, you've seen me joke. Like there's friends that I'll joke with, and I'll be like your face, and we'll do that.
Yeah.
But that's with us.
Yeah.
That's the people you know,
Right.
not some random ass person that comes on there and says that stuff. You know?
That's why I stopped posting pictures of the cheerleaders
Yeah.
or the dancers
Oh, okay.
at all.
Really?
Because the comments I would get, it's just like,
Crude.
come on.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, well, even when someone dies now, you see all this shit. You're
Yeah.
like, really, guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
They joke about it now. It's gotten to the point where like so and so died today, passed at 31 years old. Or like, yeah, go fuck himself. Well, he really didn't even die.
Yeah.
It was just somebody trying to get
Or they
clicks.
get punny with it.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah.
Jeez, damn.
Yeah, but you know, I mean,
Switch flicked.
yeah, but that's one of those things. And
I knew you were going to say something about that, Dustin.
He's genius at it, though.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things, you know. And I love some of the stuff that's out there, and I'm always the first one to say, man, that's a great photo. You know what I mean? And I got one of the best compliments I ever got was from Sebastian Bach. I did the show. He did a show at Trees, and you know he doesn't look great
No.
visually, you know. But you know he was doing the whole cowboy hat thing, and I mean I got some pretty decent shots because there was no pit.
Right.
So, you know, I pretty much ran the venue, so I was all over the place.
Yeah.
And he went on there and commented, I don't know if it was his team, but I think it was him. He basically said, these are the best photos I've ever seen of myself. No up-the-nose shots. This guy knows what he's doing. I love these photos. And I was like, wow.
That's awesome.
That's really
killer.
cool.
From him.
Yeah, and you know, and I still have it. I think I screenshotted it, but they're still on Trees' website, but they're hidden in the. You have to go into the folders and stuff. But I thought that was so cool, you know, and I was like, damn, that's awesome. You know, because you know his personality and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn,
I've had some run-ins with him.
yeah. The fact that he even
Yeah.
said that is cool, you know, and I think that's why I like to do what I do.
Yeah.
Little things like that. When fans say something or when somebody says something, I think that's cool. I get people that'll say hi to me. My friend always laughs, Ronnie, because we'll go to Florida, we'll go some other place, and somebody will come out of nowhere, James, and I'm like, and he's like, who'd you pay to come over here and say hi to you? One time this girl came out of nowhere screaming. We were coming out from backstage, and she's like, oh my God, James Villa, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And
Here's your son.
Yeah.
Here's your kid.
Oh, trust me. I wanted to have a son with her.
Oh shit.
That's another story altogether.
That's good.
Yeah, that's another story. But yeah,
Daddy.
yeah. She came up to me, gives a big hug, and Ronnie's like, "Okay, who is this girl?" And I said, "Oh, it's a friend of mine. It's a girl that my friend used to date, and he moved to Florida to live with her and stuff." And he's like, "That's crazy," and it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's neat to do that, you know, and I think that's what the fun part of it. And most people don't get it, and you know, it's fun. But I like the fact that you're doing this because you've done it, and obviously you're a musician,
Yeah.
and that makes it cool because then you can see the other side of it, and kind of really see it and be like, oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with musicians, you know. Like I loved when I first got the magazine, I was interviewing musicians, so I interviewed like Phil Anselmo and what's his name from Tom Kiefer. And Tom Kiefer, he says, hey, and actually have the outtake because I don't leave it in the interview. He's like, hey, he goes, you work at Trees, right? And I was like, yeah.
What's the last time Tom played there?
Oh, it was probably 12 years ago.
Okay.
It was a while back, maybe 8 years ago. Yeah. But this
Solo.
was, yeah, with the Tom Kiefer band.
Okay, yeah, not okay.
Yeah, so you know, I interviewed him at Rocklahoma,
Oh,
and he's
Okay.
like, you work at Trees, right? I'm like, yeah, and he goes, yeah, I like your photos, and I'm like, he doesn't like my photos, he doesn't know who I am, and he goes, yeah, you're the guy with the little circle logo with the guitar player. Is that Eddie Van Halen? I said, no, that's a friend of mine. He's like, you got great work. And I'm like, thanks, dude.
It's
Thanks.
little things like that, and no matter what you do, that is gratifying.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
feel it. You
Yeah.
go, oh my God, this just happened.
You know, they say never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
I met Scott Weiland, which I love the guy. I met him at a show in Houston, and I actually followed him out of the venue to the tour bus that he had parked somewhere in like underneath an overpass.
Yeah.
And you know, I sat there and waited. And I was hoping he would come out. And Mary, his wife, then the one he sings about, she came out, and she goes, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "I'd love to see Scott." Love to say hi to him. And she's like, who's with you? I go, it's just my wife. And she's like, give me a minute. She went inside and brought him out. And I got to say hi to him and talk to him. And earlier, the drummer,
Eric Kretz?
Yes, he was talking to me and he says, hey, he says, I said, man, I love you guys. I can't wait to see you guys again. He goes, oh, it'll be soon. And I said, huh? He goes, yeah, I'll be out. We'll be back out here in a couple months. And I was like, what? Long story short, the radio station in Houston changed their name and their call numbers from one side of the dial to the other side of the dial. And they had a secret band that was going to play that show. Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh,
What was that?
So the second time, I had a Stone Temple Pilots cap, the one where they had the star for the number 4 album, and he signed it for me. And as he was signing it for me, he looks at me and he goes, "You're not going to follow me tonight, are you?" And I was like, "Wow."
He actually remembered
He
you.
actually remembered me.
Damn.
And when we went, and then fast forward to 10 years later, he played at Trees. And he made me wait. I shit you not, I waited 7 hours to interview him. And when he finally let us on the bus, turn your cameras off, turn everything off. Okay, so what are we doing? You can write it down or whatever. I was like, okay. So we're talking, and I mentioned the story to him, and his then wife, his new wife, she started crying. She's like, Scott, that's a beautiful story. And she goes, do you not remember? And he's like, I don't. And he's like, I'm sorry, buddy. And I said, hey, man. I said, that's cool, dude. I said, I appreciate you letting me on the bus. And Ronnie was with me. And Ronnie took a photo of me and him. And it was the greatest thing for me, man. It was, fuck, I mean, just talking about it. That was an incredible moment, man. And it was just, fuck, dude. I mean, just the fact that he was so humble about it. He was so cool. And 6 months or 8 months later, right before he died,
I was wondering how close it was.
I shot a show of Danny Wimmer's show in San Antonio, which was that really popular. They did like 5 years of it. It was really good. But anyway, it was a Danny Wimmer festival that they did in San Antonio, and his band played. And I remember seeing those photos, dude, and people were just talking shit about him. You know, a fucking junkie, and just the guys in the pit that I actually got into. One of the guys in the pit, I punched him in the chest because I was gonna hit him in the face, but I couldn't hit. He moved, and I hit him on the side of the boob, and he just looked at me and he goes, "What the fuck is your problem, dude?" And I go, "What the fuck is your problem? Get the fuck out of the pit." And one of the security guards comes over and he goes, "What's the problem, buddy?" I go, "Fuck these guys, man. They have no fucking respect." And the guy's like, "You gotta calm down, man. You gotta just chill the fuck out." I'm like, "Fuck these guys." And I go, "Fuck you and fuck you." And I got into it I was talking shit to all of them. And I couldn't shoot it anymore. Not because they didn't want to, but I just couldn't see him anymore. I couldn't stand looking at him anymore because, dude, I mean, I went back and looked at the photos, and I didn't post any of them because, like, his teeth were all dirty, and he looked terrible.
He did.
And dude, it hurt me to see him like that. I was like, fuck, you know, and you know, I never posted any of those photos. None of them. And you know, because I thought that would be super fucking disrespectful, you know, and I could have cleaned them up, but I saw the condition that he was in. But I was just so pissed at those guys in the pit because I was like, what the fuck are you doing here then?
Yeah. Why are you up here to take pictures?
You know, and they were just mocking him the whole time.
Yeah, exploitation.
Yeah, it was
fucking blows.
Dude, it was so shitty. I've never gotten mad at anybody in the pit like that, but I was pissed. I was like, you guys are shitty. You know, and it's like you're shitty and you shouldn't even be in here. You know, and I went to go see, you know, growing up in El Paso, I got to meet the guys from At the Drive-In because we were friends with those guys.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you ever crossed paths with them.
Yeah, we were friends with them, and my friend Rat used to book bands at a little warehouse, and Cedric had a band called Phantasmagoria, which you'll see a little piece of it, and you'll see them in the movie that they made, him and Cedric, the Mars Volta movie they have.
Oh, yeah, I've
It's
never
really
seen
good.
it.
You got to see it. It shows them when they were punk rockers. And my friend used to book them. And there's a guy in the band, there was a guy that we used to hang out with called Chifino, Eric Chifino. And there's a song from At the Drive-In called Chifino. And it talks about that guy and stuff. And My best friend used to date Cedric's then girlfriend and ended up marrying her. So we were all kind of friends.
A little
together.
circle there.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But Jim Ward, which was in at the drive-in.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
The rhythm guitarist.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I've known him for a long time. He actually played a show the night that Scott Weiland died at Three Links,
Oh wow.
and I was sitting there watching the
Was
show.
it Sparta?
Yeah, no, it wasn't Sparta. It was him. It was just
Oh,
him.
it was just him solo.
Yeah, it was
okay.
just him. And I remember sitting there watching him, and all of a sudden I just had like this weird feeling. And then my phone buzzed, and I looked at it, and it was my son. And he's like, Scott's dead. And I was like, fuck. It was hard, man. It was hard to hear it. Because I had just seen him like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Three weeks before, and it was just...
Talk about a buzzkill while you're at a show
Yeah,
too.
dude. And I could see it when I saw him. I had like this vibe that I'm never going to see this guy again.
Did he die on tour?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he died on
dude.
tour.
Yeah, he died on tour.
Everybody that I know that came across him said he was the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah,
and
and-
very down to earth and cool.
See, and Matt Slider said he was an asshole with him.
Really?
Yeah. Because they did a show with Matt Slider with the Feds. They opened up for them on one of those Buzz Fests or something.
Yeah.
And Matt Slider said that he was out there and he was just a real dick with him. And he goes, I don't know, I don't like the guy. And because we had talked about that before I even met him. And I said, yeah, dude, I love that guy. He's just something about him. I think something about him is great.
Yeah.
I just like the guy, And I love the way he danced and stuff because he did a lot of little moves that I used to do when I danced and stuff. And I thought that was really cool because he didn't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a hard one. That was probably one of the ones that I was not friends with him per se, but it was just crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I'm friends with the guy the reason that I grew my hair back out and stuff is the guy. I don't know. You're probably more familiar with who I'm talking about. It's the guy from He Is Legend.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I know he's
Shiner?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool as hell, and that's the reason I grew my hair out because I saw him in California about 13 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we've become friends, and I've seen him. I go out. I went to Chicago one time, and he was playing, and Zod from Superman was there, and he's like,
Terrence Stamp?
yeah, and he's like, and Shiloh comes over to me, he goes, dude. I go, yes, what? He goes, dude, Zod is here.
Well, he's also Chancellor Valorum from Star Wars Episode 1.
Yes,
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He goes, you got to get a picture of me and him. He's come to a couple of our shows. And I couldn't believe that was him.
Yeah, he's
That's
passed too.
awesome.
And he goes, every time I see him, he's gone by the time I get out there. And he goes, can you please take a photo? I go, yeah, dude, I took a photo of him. And so I took the photo of him and I gave it to him. And then he was selling some lyrics, some lyrics posters of He Is Legend. And I ordered one from him. And I said, dude, here's a song that I want. And then like a day later, he's like, what's another one of your favorite songs? And I said, this one. So he says, okay. And then I saw that the thing went back on my card like a week later. And I was like, oh, man, he's not going to send me nothing. So he sent me back the money. A week and a half later, these two beautiful hand-painted posters and stuff with all the lyrics to the two songs that I wanted. And then he sent me this Polaroid, a really cool Polaroid, because it's the song. One of the songs is talking about Romeo and Juliet. So he sent me a little postcard where he drew out Romeo and Juliet, and I thought that was awesome.
That is cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, and he is an awesome guy. Last story, Jacoby from Papa Roach. Every time I see that
Jacoby
guy,
Shaddix, yeah.
yeah,
Kobe
every
Dick.
time I see him, he acts like I'm his best friend.
He nearly killed a friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah, at Ozfest.
Oh, dude, he talks to me like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going? Hey, you got some good shots tonight? Like, you shooting tonight?" Never talked to the guy in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know where he thinks he knows me from, but anyway,
Danny Trejo.
yeah. There you go. Maybe I should ask him. Hey, I'm not Danny Trejo, buddy. But anyway, one time we went. Ronnie was with me, and we were on the cruise on the Shipwreck cruise.
Yeah.
And He Is Legend was one of the stowaways. So me and Shiloh are talking. We're all just chit chatting and stuff. And he says, "Hey man, I'll meet you tomorrow. Let's go hang out." Like, okay, cool, dude. We'll hang out tomorrow. And he's like, "Yeah. So I'm just sitting there waiting. I see him. He's backstage because he just finished doing a Castaway thing where they were all playing. And Jacoby comes over and he's like, "Hey, buddy, what's going on?" I'm like, "Hey, man, how are you, dude?" And he's like, I'm playing it along. I'm like, "How's it going?" He gives me a hug. And I said, "Hey, can you do me a big favor?" He's like, "Yeah, buddy, anything you want." And I said, "Can you see that guy over there with the long hair and the the beard and stuff? Will you get him for me?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, dude, I'll go get him." So he goes and grabs them and, Schneider comes up there. He's like, "Hey, what's up, buddy? You ready?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go, man." And we both leave, and Jacoby's just standing there. And Ronnie sends me a text. He's like, "Dude, that was fucked up."
That's funny as shit.
I go, what's fucked up? He goes, "Dude, you just left him there. I guess he thought you were going to invite him or something. He just stood there and he looked at me, and then he just walked away all disappointed."
Oh, man.
Oh.
So I was like, fuck, that's kind of fucked up. Oh, well.
Cut my life into pieces.
Here's my plastic fork.
Tear my heart open.
Yeah, so that was it. But that's it. So
That's funny.
So that's it. Yeah.
Well, shit, man. That's a lot.
It's a lot to take in.
I know, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It's fun, There's a lot of stories and they're funny, but those are like my favorites because there's, it's just been so much fun. I think it's been a great ride, and I think that's what you have to appreciate if you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then you don't even do it. Obviously, it's a lot harder now, the access and all that.
Sure.
But if you're cool with people, they'll see that, and they'll take care of you.
How do you fight burnout?
I try to stay away from looking at it, like my photos and stuff, because sometimes it's a lot,
Yeah.
especially when you're editing. I have that problem where I have to walk away. At first, I would try to sit down that night and do them all, but then at some point, you're like, you become so, I don't want to say anal, but you have these 10 photos, and the only thing that's different is their hand placement.
Yeah.
And you're just like, God, this one's so good. Oh, this one's so good. Oh, this one. And
You just got to pick one and go.
Yeah. And I think that was my hardest thing, was learning how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've had that problem.
Yeah, and it's hard, dude.
Yeah.
It is hard, and
Super
and
hard.
you have to do it to know it. And I think with like musicians, like with lyrics, the same thing.
Yep.
Like you'll find a lyric, and you're just like, because I've always been amazed with some of the lyrics, and some of the lyrical content. I used to write down lyrics because I loved, Ronnie James Dio was one of the best for interweaving things in the lyrics where you're like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think one of my favorite lyrics is what's his name, Queensryche, when he says it's strange how laughter looks like crying without sound, raindrops taste like tears. And I mean, just that kind of shit is so deep.
Yeah.
And
It hits you hard.
Yeah, dude, it does. And I think that's one of the things, like with the photography piece, like you look at something and you're just like, this is my baby, and I'm gonna do what I can with it, and I'm gonna share it.
Yeah.
And the same thing with lyrical content. Sometimes you don't care if the people get it, but whether you want to accept it or not, people will interpret it their way.
Totally.
And I think that's better sometimes.
Yeah.
Because it means something totally different to you.
Totally.
But to them, it inspired them, and it made them think of something.
We've talked about that before on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might think it's corny. You might think like, oh God, here we go. Or the person that comes up to you and says, oh my God, you're the best inspiration. You inspired me completely.
Yeah.
And you may be like, okay, I've heard that a million times. And the person over there would be like, oh God, shut up, hurry up, I'm next.
Right.
But that's the stuff that's the reason, I'm sure that's the reason you do it. I mean, you want to do it for money, obviously. You want to be able to enjoy it.
To enjoy it, to do it.
Yeah.
But that is the main reason.
Yeah.
It's when you hear the stories that come up to you
Yeah.
of why this song, or some songs are from fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
To this day, I still have people come up and say shit about it. And I'm just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I know you did your homework, because that fucking thing is only available on CD, baby.
Yeah.
Right? You can't stream this anywhere.
Right.
Like, you only get it there. They had to buy it. It's one of the 1,200 copies that was sent. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Where you had to send the albums out, and they could buy the physical. So I know that they're still sitting on fucking, 800 of those or whatever, but somebody had to do the homework.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
find
man.
that.
Yeah. It's and another thing I appreciate too is like music that's not finished.
Yeah.
Like I have some now it's everywhere, but I have some Mars Volta stuff. 3 songs that they didn't ever put out.
Yeah.
They changed them when the album came out.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, like who has this? Now everybody has them.
Right.
Because I play them for people that are like, oh, I've already heard that.
Yeah.
But when I had them 10 years ago, nobody had them.
Yeah.
Or I was going to reach in here because I've got it in here.
I've got to ask you about
I picked
that.
it up. Like getting a local release, and then it being re-recorded nationally, and having the local still, and going back and listening to it and being like, listen how raw and cool, because that's what I stopped by my studio on the way here and picked up a bunch of CDs that I've been wanting to hear, but I have the original Drowning Pool Pieces of Me in here.
Oh, really?
That answers the question. I was like, do you just always carry around a bag load of CDs? You know what I mean?
I grabbed a bunch of stuff that I've been wanting to listen to for a while.
Oh, okay.
But the original Pieces of Me is in here, and it sounds completely different.
Yeah.
But it's the one that Todd and Toby Pipes did at BPL.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
It sounds, it's cool, but it's raw, and I love that. I love that.
That's
it's
the
like
thing,
raw.
though. That's because it's not cleaned up, and it's not like commercialized or whatever.
Well,
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just cooler. It's just
it's just more like
they rearrange some stuff, especially on like Tearing Away is a little different. I can't think if Bodies is different.
I actually think I have that as well. I'm not sure, but I know I've heard the Bodies, and I've heard the Tearing Away. I've heard it somewhere. I think Jason might have played it for me because he might have gotten it at some point. But that's to me, that's it's like going to a rehearsal room with a band, and watching them rehearse.
Pieces of Nothing is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the original Drowning Pool release.
That's cool, dude. That's amazing.
And then like another one. Let's see here. This was the local release of Element 80, and then they did the national release that got cleaned up.
We got that dude coming into the show. Might want to hold on to those.
Who's that?
Lead singer of Element 80.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. I went to high school with their bassist, not their original one.
Yeah,
maybe. It's just a maybe, though. At this point. But we're trying. He knows. He was on the old podcast.
Yeah. Have you guys talked to the guy from Jibe? Or Andrew from
I haven't. He may have.
Andrew from Fair to Midland?
I haven't yet, no.
That would be a good one.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
He's super smart guy. He's like amazing.
Who's your favorite local?
I love the from Seroja. I love the guys from Seroja. Those guys were also really good.
That's a cool band. That's a good band.
Yeah, really good band. God, there's so many bands that I've seen that, I really love the Dead Twins. Those guys, Gabe Cardinal and his brother. It was such a great album.
Yeah.
That they put out. I think obviously the raw stuff is really, really good, and I liked Siren City. Siren City was really popular for a while, and Randy, it wasn't like my favorite person, but his lyrics were amazing, and I got to find out what all the songs were about, and I think they're mostly about one person, but it's cool, for somebody to share that with you. It's like you said, I like to interpret it for myself.
Sure.
But when you hear a story like that, like the Feds, Matt Slider used to say, whenever he would say she, he was talking about he. And he was talking about one particular person. Yeah. And I think that's cool. You know what I mean? Because it's a play of words that you don't know unless somebody tells you.
Right.
And so I think that's and I think that's my they're my favorite. My favorite band locally has to be the Feds, but there's so many of them that were so good back in that time when I was shooting, because there were so many bands. Yeah. I mean, Mermaid Purse was one of my favorites.
But you were here post One Ton Record era.
I moved here in 2000.
So that would have been right around the time One Ton was
shutting down.
Aiden Holt and all.
Aiden
was moving.
I got to meet Aiden. No, Aiden was still around.
Was he?
For a little bit, yes, because I met Aiden. Aiden wasn't my favorite person. I wasn't Aiden's favorite person.
There's very few people that were Aiden's favorite person. Although for some reason he felt like he'd known me since we were little kids.
Right.
It's very weird. I was like, I've spoken to you like twice. And I'd see him out at big shows, and he'd be like, "Hey man, what's up?"
No, he was not nice to
Weird.
me, and it's funny because I actually when Jack White came around, he was the first person I thought of.
Oh,
and,
really?
And I said, hey, because he said something, and I said, you should come to Dallas. I said, I'll take care of you. And he was like, well, what are you talking about? I said, you want to see Jack White? I said, come on down, and I'll take care of you. And I did that because I felt like he allowed me a lot of the opportunities to shoot these guys and watch them, and didn't really. At first, he was kind of mean and rude, but later on, I think he was protecting his investment and thought that, oh, this is just some guy, whatever. And then he realized that I was genuine and I was really wanting to be their friend because I really admired their music and stuff. But yeah, he's an interesting guy.
What he was doing at that time really
Right.
helped the scene.
Yeah.
Even before the buzz of and stuff, when it was just the roster of bands and all them playing together.
Yeah, some of the bands were
was
really good.
great. Yeah.
Some of the bands he had were great because I shot a couple of those buzz ovens in the mall and some other places.
Yeah, they were always in weird, fun places.
Yeah.
Ridgely and
So that was and I guess Fair to Midland too. Let's not leave them out. Those guys were amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, those guys were. I hate that they ended like they ended. But yeah, I think it was a great time to be around that scene. I wish I would have gotten to meet Pantera and stuff. I didn't get to meet them. I mean, I got to as a band.
Just say you did because everybody says
right.
they did.
Well, I've met Phil.
Yeah.
I met the brother, the drummer.
Vinny.
I met
Vinny.
Vinny because I was going to get thrown out of the balcony at Trees, and that's how I became friends with Scott Long, which is a really good friend of his. And I met Diamond. I met Daryl at Curtain Club, and I kind of got into it with him because he said something about Jason Moreno that I didn't like, and he looked at me and he just looked at me and I remember my friend Paul Aguilar was there, and he was like, "Do you know who you're talking to?" I'm like, "I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
And I didn't know that's who he was. I just thought it was some guy with long, stringy, curly hair. And then
And a red goatee like everybody was doing at the time.
Right. And then
the lookalike
yeah.
contest.
And when I walked away later on, Paul was like, "Dude, that was what's his name from Pantera?" And I was like, "So I don't even like Pantera." Shit. And I didn't give a shit. And it was funny because I didn't like Pantera.
Yeah.
I didn't like him until later. My ex-wife was a huge Pantera fan, and I remember one time we saw Phil, and he had a white suit on, and it was at a House of Blues. Remember how they used to have those Battle of the Bands?
Yeah.
And he was there, and my ex-wife's like, "Oh, hi," she tried to talk to him, and he's like, just looked at her, and I go, "Dude, you're an asshole," and he says, "Fuck you," and he kept on walking. And
He used to live right down the street from here for
Did
a
he?
while.
Really?
And when the Best Buy was here in the shopping center, I worked
Yeah.
there, and he would come in all the time.
Yeah.
And he was kind of an a-hole to everybody in there. But
Yeah, he was nice though. We interviewed him when I had the magazine. I let my friend interview him because I didn't know a whole lot about him.
Yeah.
And he invited us to dinner and everything because he has a lady that travels with him, I guess, or makes them food when they're in certain places. So she made tamales and a bunch of stuff for him, and he's like, "You guys want some tamales?" I'm like, "I don't know. I thought you wanted to kill me like 3 years ago," but he was super cool. Yeah, super cool dude. Yeah.
this was all before he OD'd, so now
Yeah.
he may be a little different.
Yeah, he's super cool.
I haven't seen him since then. So
Yeah, super nice guy. I didn't think that back
changes
then.
people.
Yeah, I didn't think that before that, but yeah, he's super nice. But yeah,
What's Jordan up to these days?
Jordan is actually studying to be a nurse, like a nurse, and I think he just graduated
Really?
last I think like 4 or 5 months ago. I've tried to get him to come out, but he lost his dad, and his dad was like his concert buddy,
Yeah.
and I think that really affected him. So I mean,
I used to love reading his blog, and I
Yeah.
just pulled it up.
Yeah.
And he hadn't done anything since 2000.
no,
on
dude,
it.
he hasn't done anything since his dad passed, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, he helped me a lot. Like I said, and I would give him a lot of crap about the novel thing, but he was just a great writer. I mean, he sat there. I mean, he was the future of ChatGPT because he wrote it that well.
If you don't know, his blog was The Music Enthusiast,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a massive blog that went on years just about local music,
Yeah.
and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
He'd do national stuff on there too, but it was a go-to guy to
Yeah.
basically
Yeah, that's
finding out about.
That's
bands.
why I picked him, because he was, he wrote so well, and he really took the time to really know and study what he wrote about. And I did local. I shot local for 7 or 8 years before I got a national show. But I think that's the thing with Jordan too. I mean, he just really, really liked what he did, and he really enjoyed it. And it's hard to find people like that care about that stuff.
Yeah.
And writing, I think, is a lot more difficult. The photos, you take the photos, and it's like hit or miss. But to write, I think, to be able to get someone's attention, especially now that nobody reads or any of that stuff,
Why do you think I always bring a writer with me?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just bring my computer with me and let it.
Well,
type it
now
out, let it write it, and then I just go tweak it. I mean, everybody does it.
everybody does it now. Yeah.
Yeah, if we were that well versed in words and we really knew all those words, we wouldn't be doing this. We'd be doing something else.
Yeah.
We'd be giving speeches at Carnegie Hall or something. I don't know.
Does Craig have any questions? Being the other music photographer
I think
here.
Craig's asleep.
Craig, no, he's not asleep.
Have we killed him?
No, he's awake.
I've been watching the screen change.
That could just be him just laying there.
It's on autopilot. It's just every 30 seconds it switches. What the hell am I here for?
He's like the new light guys that just push the button and walk away, and you're like,
You're doing great.
He's controlling it from an iPad down the hall.
in the bathroom in the shitter.
Remotely.
like the guy from from LA Guns during the pandemic. Remember that?
Yeah.
That he was sitting in the restroom. That's where he would play guitar from.
Oh
Because
shit!
he wouldn't go on stage. Yeah, he refused to go on
I
stage.
forgot all about
Yeah.
that.
I didn't even know about that. That's hilarious.
Freaking
Yeah,
ridiculous.
he would go into the restroom or somewhere that was closed, but he wouldn't go on stage because he didn't want to get anybody near him with
I
COVID.
forgot all about
Yeah.
that. Jeez.
Yeah, I think it was at Granada. He played in the restroom. Yeah, it's great.
That doesn't even make sense.
Every once in a while, you would hear an extra drum solo, and it was just him going to the restroom. So
Oh, that was.
that was great. Hey,
Nobody-
that's not
nobody
in the
tuned
song.
that.
Yeah, that's not in the song. I don't think that was a song.
Oh, there's another one.
Fun fact: House Harkonnen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those guys. I
Love
love
those guys.
Love those guys. I forgot about all the stuff I did with those
buddy
guys.
buddies with all them.
Yeah, I did so much stuff with those guys, but they actually, one of the songs, I forgot what song it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually him flushing the toilet.
It's Doty.
Yeah, and they mixed it so well.
Oh shit!
And it's just like, but
Yeah.
it's actually them him taking a dump and flushing the toilet.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you can hear the drops and everything, but when he
Yep.
speeds it up, when they slow it down, it sounds cool, right?
It sounds cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea until Doty told me, and then the whole story behind that was like during that recording session,
Yeah.
they were just sending audio to each other because it was the new on their phone.
Yeah.
Like I can send you this, I could send you that, I could send, and so it was them. Every time they went to the restroom, would record it,
Yeah.
and send it to each other.
I was with them during the whole recording process for that album, and yeah, they were cool dudes.
Beginning of Powder Keg? I can't remember this.
Yeah, it was the album that has like all the JFK stuff, all the missile stuff and everything. It's really cool. Alex is an incredible guy. He didn't like me at first, but then he kind of
That's Alex.
I think I kind of grew on him, but he was really cool. One time he called me because I posted something on Facebook. He's like, "Hey James, was that about us?" And I'm like, "What?" So I don't know. I just wanted to make sure. I hope you're not upset. And I'm like, "Upset about what? What are you talking about?" He's like, "Well, this thing you said on Facebook." I'm going, "Dude, most of the shit on Facebook is just random stuff. Like I'll see something at Walmart or something, and I'll post something. I mean, if you want to think it's you, I guess that's fine." I said, "But it was so weird, because I never talked to him on the phone. And I just got this random call. I'm like, who the hell's that?" And it was Alex. And I was like, "No, Alex, you're good."
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool.
Your
dude.
guilty conscience doesn't win today.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, super cool, dude. But yeah, that was another band I forgot that I worked with a lot. They were great guys.
I guess the answer back to him should be like, should I be?
Yeah.
Did you shoot the video for them at the rehearsal studio
Yeah.
there in Dallas at
Yeah.
Mockingbird?
Yeah. I shot a bunch of stuff. I shot a bunch of videos that I've shot.
I always wondered who shot that video.
I'm not proud of them, but I've shot a lot of music videos that I didn't really edit really well. I did one for Exit 380, which was really good. That we did in a 2-block radius.
Yeah.
And it was really good. I'm in the video, and it's awful. I just had really short hair, and my face was fat, and it was crazy. But yeah, I like I said, we did a lot of interviews, and I did a lot of stuff, and I just got away from it. That was my push to try to get the magazine going. So yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that video because that's my rehearsal space is over there.
Yeah.
At that building because they took that room
Yeah.
and divided it up into rehearsal spaces.
Yeah.
So the Spectacle is in one of those rooms.
That's cool, dude. Yeah, that was
But we were talking about the video the other day.
Yeah, it's been like I said, it's been a fun run, and I'm glad that I was around in that era as opposed to now, because I'd be like, why even do this? Because
Yeah.
there's nothing. There's really nothing. Nobody that I'm interested.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
I look at what's coming up, and I'm just kind of like today is the first time I've been excited about anything,
Yeah.
just because of the band hasn't. They've been playing European festivals,
Yeah.
but haven't done anything over here. Now it's not the original band because,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things that it's hard to really pinpoint an era that was really good. Like I would have loved to have been around in the Depeche Mode era when they were getting like during the 101 album, because those guys were amazing.
I did a shoot last weekend, 2 weeks ago, that the client was, we want Depeche Mode
Nice.
photos. We want the photo shoot to look like Depeche Mode.
Nice.
I feel like I've hit it. We'll
That's
see.
Cool. Oh, that's cool.
I'll let
dude.
them pass them around, but I feel like we hit it. It was early in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
But it's
yeah.
nice when a client comes to you and goes, here's what I want.
Yeah.
Anton
yeah.
Corbin, and I want
Yeah.
this era of Depeche Mode look. Okay.
That's cool,
Let's
dude.
do it.
Yeah, I when we used to go to clubs, we used to dance all that stuff, Depeche Mode, Erasure, and like what we talked about before we started. Yeah, that was a great era, man.
Was there an industrial scene down there?
In El Paso, there was.
Were you there when Al moved in?
Yeah,
You were?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he still down there?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
That was his Spawn Ranch.
Yeah, that was one of those. Yeah, that was.
I know it's still a studio. 'Cause
Yeah, it's
people
still a studio.
record out there.
Yeah, it's still a studio.
But I didn't know if he still lived
No,
down there.
I don't think he's there anymore. Yeah, that. Yeah, it was. I met him during the Ministry dance era.
Oh,
I didn't even know that was
The
him.
80s.
When I shot him later, when he was Ministry, like old Ministry,
Yeah.
I was like, "Is this the same guy?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "It was so
The
weird."
early stuff, yeah.
And I was like, "Who is this? That can't be him." And I was like asking my friends, I'm like, "This is really him?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's him, dude." I'm like, "Wow, that's so random."
When he went from Chicago and moved down to Austin, it was that, like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you'd see him, like, at, what was it, Liberty Lunch or
Yeah.
whatever, and be like, is that?
yeah, it's so weird. Like that band was. It's crazy how some bands can do that. Like Metallica, that would change. You can't do what I don't think anybody can do what the Beatles did and what the Beatles got away with. They alienated some fans, but they also grabbed a whole bunch of fans. Like, I hated the Beatles. I couldn't stand the Beatles.
They did it all within, like, 6 years.
I thought they were terrible because all I heard was "I want to hold your hand" and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is this bubblegum shit?" And then when Apple released their whole catalog, I was like, I just put it on there because they gave it to us, and then I was like, holy shit! And then I heard the White Album, and I was like,
The White Album.
what the hell is this?
One of my favorite albums ever.
Yeah.
And
It's one of my favorites.
and then you listen to the Wings and you listen to that stuff, and you're like, holy shit, these guys were amazing.
But they did it all within, like, 6 years.
Yes.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
But no band will ever be able to get away with that because fans nowadays are like, oh, it doesn't even sound like the first album. Why do I want to hear
Right.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, Metallica, well, you're doing what? Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
If it's not Ride the Lightning, I don't care. It sucks.
Yeah.
And I listen to the Beatles. I can't say enough about them. I still have friends that are like, oh, they suck. I'm like, have you really listened to them? Because they don't suck. You're just hating on them. I hated on them. And I listened to them, and I'm like, damn, these guys are incredible. Just to be able to change like that, and it's just. Yeah.
But it is weird to hear, a band that went from Love Me Do to,
Happiness is a Worn Gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
to dark and just crazy places,
Yeah, Bluebird and all that. I mean, it's just those are some of those songs are just amazing, and I think I think again that goes back to fans and just really not gravitating towards something and not really being able to accept what's out there. And I think it's a shame that we can't be a little more open to some of that stuff because there's a lot of talent out there, and I think that's what. Unfortunately, now we don't never get to see it.
And like you said, the attention span.
Yeah, short attention span theater is what it
And
is.
it's so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah,
you have 15 minutes or 15 seconds to sell someone on something.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's dumb.
Dopamine addictions.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it is. That's what everything is now.
Well, and then big pushes, like for your art, that something tragic's got to happen, or some big things got to happen for people to pay attention, which I want to get into when we get into busting.
Yeah.
Some stuff that happened this week. It was just like, holy shit.
You want to do some busting? Because we're going along.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's time to shut up and listen. It's time for busting with Dustin and Justin.
What the fuck is right? All right, so for those who are unaware, and this is coming to you from safecountrymusic.com. For those that are unaware, this week, the supposed satanic WAP band Twin Temple took a social media.
There's no supposed.
This is what they were saying, and I'm going on this, and I was like, "What? Wait a minute! There's no supposed anything. This writer's full of shit.
I shot him.
That John Denver's full of shit, man."
Yeah.
They went to Twin Temple, went to social media saying, "Today we were informed that Charlie Crockett has decided to remove Twin Temple from his upcoming shows next week due to our satanic imagery." The duo said in a statement, "Unfortunately, that means we will not be able to perform for you next week as planned." And with that being said, Charlie Crockett was 100% in the right to do so for this. It's his show, and if he chooses not to have somebody on it, then he can choose to have somebody not on it, whether that's their religion or the way they look, or if they're going to put a middle finger to the air, or it's political. Like, people, get your shit together and realize that not everyone's going to be happy all the fucking time. All right. But this guy chose not to do it.
And it's not like this is the first time a band has ever been
Pulled.
kicked off of a tour because of something they've done or something they've said. I mean,
Correct.
I've seen it for way lesser stuff.
Yeah.
Brass Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brass Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were supposed to go on tour with Tool, and that chick pissed on a dude at some festival on stage.
Yeah.
The singer, or they're not really, I guess she's a singer. I don't know, but she peed on him, and Tool was like, "No, we don't want any part of that. You're out." And this is, I don't even understand, like, whoever, Charlie didn't ask for Twin Temple to be on there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Because if
Management.
he had listened to it,
Or agents.
he would have known what he was getting into.
Correct.
This is agents. This is a label deal.
Yeah, like,
you know,
we're going to put
working
this band
something out.
on as an opener.
Yeah, y'all are on the same. Y'all are label mates, whatever, or your PR mates, or whatever.
Right.
Y'all are going to go on tour together, and I totally get it. It's not his scene. He's the headliner. It's his tour,
Right.
and I understand. He should have that call. Every band should have that call.
Totally.
If it's your tour and the opener is supposed to represent you, you don't want to polarize your audience.
Correct.
Right off the bat.
Correct.
And I don't even understand whoever behind the scenes lined this up, they need to be strung up and shot, because it doesn't make any sense.
If that person's not already fired from their shit, they should be, right? I mean, they should be getting it this week.
Those two don't go together
100%.
at all.
They're just night and day difference.
Night and day difference.
Completely. In other news,
For those that want to support Satan, Jack White reached out to him
yeah,
and said, "Hey, if you need to play a show, I'm doing a festival in like San Francisco, blah blah blah. I'd love to have you out here. Hashtag Get in Front of Me, Satan."
yeah,
Because the White
I was gonna
Stripes
say.
album was Get Behind Me, Satan.
right.
So, and they were like, unholy crap! I can't believe you're letting us on there to do this. Blah
Right.
blah 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 blah.
Right.
That band, Twin Temple, works with Jack White.
Right.
It works with the sound of Jack
Totally.
White.
That works.
And the crowd will get it.
Yeah.
It just, right off the bat, it doesn't work with Charlie Crockett with what
Totally.
he's doing.
Other news, Nightmare, because we were talking about this last week. Nightmare on Elm Street has been slated that is in production by Paramount. They are coming out with it. But here's the big shocker. Bill Skarsgård is being considered for the part for Freddy, who
What?
plays it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
he played Pennywise in
Right.
the
And I
newer
was
It
like,
movie.
oh, fuck. Okay, well, that changes it. Because I thought the fan banger where they said Jim Carrey should do it. I was like, oh, that's a pretty fucking good idea.
I get the Skarsgårds confused. Which one was in Kill Generation Kill?
I am not sure.
I never saw that.
It's the same one that was in True Blood.
Oh, that's Alexander Skarsgård.
Yes.
Okay.
Bill
And then
is
their
the one that
dad
played
is Stellan
Pennywise.
Skarsgård.
I know who the dad
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So Bill. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. I was just like, man, okay, this is actually happening.
They should. It's gonna be creepy as hell.
Well,
with
so
everything you
Paramount-
have at your disposal.
Paramount is reimagining Nightmare on Elm
Are
Street.
they gonna make it a series?
I don't know. Don't know. But I'm fucking stoked. I was like, all right, now enough of this fake Netflix bullshit we keep saying. Like, this could actually happen. All right.
Huh.
And it's all over every fucking, like, Fangoria. It's all over everything. It popped up. I was like, oh shit. And I started searching into it. I was like, okay, this is looking real. All right.
In other news,
Okay.
did you see that Iron Maiden sold their catalog to Pop House?
No.
I saw it was half their catalog.
They sold half the catalog, half the rights, half the imaging, half of everything of theirs because Pop House is one of those companies that can re-image a band and push them out there and make them like popular again.
Okay. All
And they've done that with several artists in the past.
They're not popular enough, I guess.
Yeah, right. Like,
So-
how big does your fucking yacht need to be?
I guess that's kind of the thing is like, let's push us back out there even more and, make Eddie a household action figure you can have.
Have you
show to your
seen
mom.
their merch? Like when you go to a show, have you seen how much merch, the amount of merch that they have?
They have
No.
a ton of merch, yeah.
That's crazy.
I wonder how much of the half of their catalog that they are selling off is Paul Di'Anno's era stuff.
I haven't seen any numbers or any base
Yeah.
of everything. It just says it's 50% stake of everything Iron Maiden
That's got to be huge.
is what Pop House is. Yeah.
Wow.
And they're going to push them out there. Make them bigger than they were.
I did see that there was a museum that popped up yesterday on my feed where they have all the original pieces
Yeah.
on display for all the album covers that they did.
Huh.
And it's like I forgot what the name of the city was called, and it's like an Iron Maiden city. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Yeah.
Bands that are traveling today, tomorrow. By the time you hear this, it'll be tomorrow. So today's the 14th. It'll be the 15th by the time you hear this. If you're headed down to South Texas right now, beware. There is a mass load of flooding going on across highways and back roads, etc. So if you're touring down to Houston or Austin, San Antonio, the Hill Country, Bernie, all the way over to, the Woodlands, like be careful where you go.
There's
Keep
been a
an
lot
eye
of
out.
cancellations on stuff,
Tons.
too.
Yeah, be
Down that
careful
way.
what's going on out there.
I got the alert that it was that Abbott had declared a state of emergency.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap.
Last night, dude, fucking blew my mind. My wife got home and we were getting dinner ready and shit. I go to let the dogs out. I see drips on the pool going. I'm like, oh, it's about to start raining. And I just pulled it. I was like, get back in here. And then I couldn't see my backyard. And I got trees. That's through the trees. I was like, it is I go out the front door. I'm like, holy shit.
Same thing happened Monday.
And I've been out of town all weekend, so I wasn't here for the storms that happened this weekend. But
When I drove into work through this area,
yeah,
up 820, I could barely see it like 5 a.m. because it was coming down so hard.
I didn't
And
even
I was
know
like-
it rained. I was asleep.
I hope all this new highway flooding control is good. Hope they got that all figured out.
yeah, I would really hope so. I would really hope so.
We were talking about songs last week that have
Yeah.
peaked back in the Billboard Top 20. We
Yeah.
forgot one. So we were talking about, because of World Cup, the songs that have peaked back in
John
there.
Denver and
John Denver. And
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi. Living on a Prayer. We forgot Wonderwall
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because of England.
Shit.
Oasis Wonderwall has peaked back into the Billboard
Okay.
Top 20.
If that song wasn't haunting every venue enough already with cover songs, it's back now and full force. But then again, like over in Ireland, back to that, like that's like one of the main songs that everybody covers.
Wonderwall is?
Wonderwall, yes. Like
when I was over there, it was Whiskey in a Jar. That's
that
all
too.
you heard.
Oh,
Whiskey
yeah.
in a Jar, Wonderwall.
Oh, Thin
you
Lizzy's
hear
cover of it.
All the John Denver tunes, like that's all the sing-alongs are what you get. Yeah, totally.
So this time tomorrow, England will be playing. Will have already played Argentina.
All right.
It is a flashback to 1982, the Falkland Wars.
Oh shit.
These two countries hate each other.
Yeah.
Hate each other.
That's happening tonight.
No, that's happening tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
Wednesday.
night. Okay. Sorry.
Today was Spain and France.
France.
And Spain
Yep.
beat France, so they're going to the final. And the final will be on Sunday, so tomorrow we figure out who the other team is. Which it's obviously, if you've watched any of this World Cup, FIFA just has a hard-on for Messi, so Argentina's going to beat England tomorrow. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm just throwing it out there. I already know what's going to happen. They're going to go to the final. Argentina's going to beat Spain.
Is this going to be the riot that happens at AT&T Stadium?
Well, the last game was today at AT&T Stadium.
Oh, okay, today. Sorry.
So
Okay.
the
It can now
final
be called
game
AT&T Stadium
is at
Yeah.
MetLife Stadium in
New York.
I can't believe
So-
they actually covered it up on top of the stadium. Like they actually went through that.
again. If AT&T's not a sponsor of the World Cup, it makes sense.
Yeah.
They can't have sponsors. They did a thing when I went to Mexico. They had to take the name of the stadium and remove it, and they renamed it temporarily to something else.
A lot of them were covered up. They were showing, I think it was Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium. They had covered it up, some sponsor on it, and a storm had come through there and started blowing it off. And people were like,
Yeah.
you're going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, and they have a logo. It was an animal, a mascot they had, and they also, FIFA said no, they couldn't do it in Mexico City, so they had to change to the little tiger or whatever it was. They had to change that as well.
Do we have enough
Tony?
time?
The Tiger?
No, not Tony.
They're great.
Tony was busy. Yeah, Tony
Jinx,
was
you owe me a
busy.
Coke.
Yes.
Beat me to that, too.
Do we have time for a little photo montage of the World Cup now that we're coming to an end?
Photo montage. You need a montage.
Yes.
I know we've gone late.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I talked too much. Sorry, guys.
God, thanks. Thanks a lot, Vila. Appreciate it. Just.
Our longest recorded episode is 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, then I don't
we're
feel
closing
bad.
Yeah, we're
in.
good.
I don't feel bad. Then.
We're closing in.
We're at
All right.
2:46.
So here we go. It's just real quick. I mean, it's no.
This ought to be good.
This will be for the YouTubers out there that are watching. This is where it all began for me. This was 7 shots when I sat down to watch Germany with the German party.
Oh, this is when you were supposed to get Dwayne's deal. This is what was happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 shots. 7 goals, 7 shots of, what do we call it? Fireball.
Fairball.
Yeah. These are them being poured
Oh.
for us. There we are, having fun. This is,
Hey, Dante.
yeah, Dante, into drunkenness right here. And then this is where things get real interesting. German fans. And then more German fans.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at that dude on the left. Jesus.
Oh, wow. All
I
right.
think wait, no, I think I
The
may
guy
have
with
seen
the
this
one
picture.
that looks like
You mean
Scooby Doo guy?
Yeah,
This one
Scooby-Doo.
right
Oh,
here.
that guy.
That
Oh,
guy.
Oh, yeah. I
the
don't-
one that escaped to Argentina?
He's got some boogers hanging out of his nose.
You know what? That's
I found out today. Well, we'll get to
he
Argentina
might
here in a
still be
minute.
in Argentina, but yes.
We found out today that, I was deep diving after I heard some stuff. Do you know who has his body? Hitler's body?
Who?
Russia took it. They took his body and his skull. And they supposedly kept it somewhere. And only one time has any test been done on it. And the time they did test on it, they did it on the skull, and it was a female skull.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Wow.
Yeah,
And they won't let anybody do anything with any of the remains
Yeah.
to this day.
Kind of like when our government got Osama bin Laden and then we dumped him in the middle of the ocean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's what we needed.
Because that was
That's
real.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to really see it or anything. It was just word of mouth.
And no one will ever.
Ever. All right, so here we go. more German fans.
Oh,
Do we have to keep
he's got
seeing
some
these
great
German
shades.
fans?
Then
They don't even
We
look
got
like
some-
they're into the game.
That
Yeah,
guy
they're
on the
not.
left is really happy.
this is where things get fun. Some Netherlands fans
Oh, that guy brought his daughter.
Netherlands.
from the Netherlands. Now this old man,
Now that's
At the Mexico
classic
game.
as shit. That is great.
trying to make it bigger.
Oh my God.
shit! I see his phone.
Oh my God. He's like, hell yeah, brother. Look at this.
Then you go.
He's trying to get the Mexican flag, guys. Stop it.
Sure he
Yeah,
is.
yeah, sure he
Sure.
is.
Zoomed right in
Sure.
on the
Yeah,
butthole.
right in there. And then you got, Brazilian fans here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, getting caught on camera. This was from one of the first America games. It was a good time.
yeah.
Argentina, I think.
I think that's literally what those translate. Argentina. Yeah.
Another Mexican fan having fun. Yeah.
I think I saw her. I'm not sure.
Swiss fans
Spice.
having fun. The Korean fans. Oh. They're for the Korean Czech game.
They are there.
More Netherlands. Same girl.
Oh, I thought
Shut up.
I thought this was a Supergirl promo. Sorry.
Then a big compilation.
montage.
A montage.
We salute you, ladies.
Argentina, what's going on? How you doing? More German.
Tune in the top left.
Some Netherlands. Are y'all bored yet? It's just everybody looking.
He's not even looking at. She's looking at him, and he's
That's
just like,
Norway.
"Hello,
No, hello.
ladies."
Oh, his eyes hurt. Look at him.
That was Norway.
Oh, was that Norway? I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Norway.
Norway.
Sorry,
He was
that
squinting.
was.
He had to make sure he was
Norga.
seeing what he was seeing.
Yeah. Brazil.
Brazil.
Tracks.
Now this is at AT&T Stadium.
All right. Arlington. Is that just? She's from Arlington.
She's from Arlington. She was Croatian, but she's a DJ out of Miami.
Oh,
She lives in Miami, but Croatian descent,
yeah.
and that's her again too. Oh, more shots.
Oh, Vegas moms.
Actually, green tea shots.
Oh, the other Vegas
We're
mom.
being healthy. This is watching World Cup in the chat room bathroom as you pee.
On a CRT.
Wow, look at that, dude.
That's
Awesome.
classic TV there.
Yeah.
That's an album cover. Wait, now, holy shit!
Whoa.
That's at AT&T Stadium too when Argentina played.
Wow.
I want to see everybody. I wish this was wider because I want to see everybody else standing around going, "What
Yeah.
is happening?"
My mind thought that was a heart with somebody's arms around it. Yeah.
It is a
You are
heart.
not
Oh,
jarring
yeah.
enough,
It is a
sir.
heart.
Do we need to send you some of these photos?
I don't know what
Canada.
that says, but Canada, go Canada. Then Depeche Mode shows up
Oh.
at the England game.
Like they just came from a funeral.
Yeah, it's David
Look at
Gone on
those
the right.
guys.
It's kind of awesome.
That's killer.
Yeah.
They just stay in their attire. Everyone around them is kitted up.
He's got the dude on the left there has got the look just like, yep, soccer.
Yep.
Here we are.
Soccer. Now, this was a meme, and I got to thank all the guys for sending these photos to me because I was like, send me everything you got that you found. This is Argentina, right? These are girls from Argentina. We know why they look that way. We know why they look that way. Don't we?
The island.
Through history?
The island? Yeah.
No. Argentina's not an island.
What are we?
This is where all the Nazis went.
Oh, that's right.
This is Nazi offspring. Several generations down, but that's why they look like this.
Okay.
Next time you look at Messi, well, there's some German officer in him. Just take a look. Just take a look. This guy got in trouble.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He got caught.
He's like, I was just
More
looking for
shots.
the other half of this hot dog.
So I gotta have an AT&T hat on.
Yeah. I guess I should cover that up. Germany.
Way to point it out, Vila.
Today's French fans go into the stadium today.
Nice double glasses.
France.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Norway.
Oh wait.
Norga.
Just waiting for him. There's Norway again, and then Mexico. And then the greatest team photo ever made.
Norway.
The Norwegian soccer team.
He just
their
talks
promo
away from the
photo.
mic now. He didn't even bring it up to him. I'm just going to get him a little desk mic to have in there now. Just a little desk right out in front of him.
But that's my photo album from
Awesome.
this World Cup.
I wish we could have seen the Supergirl promo again.
I gotta say, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not as much of a soccer nut as some of my friends are,
Yeah.
but it's been awesome seeing stories from people from around the world coming to the United States for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
I've seen a lot of them too.
A lot of the appreciation and love has come from the South,
Yeah.
not from California or New York, but it's been awesome that a lot of people have come over here and been like, we were so scared to death, and this is one of the greatest countries in the world, and I love this. I want to move
Yeah.
over here. I want to be here. Like I said, I think we're going to have an immigration crisis of World Cup fans wanting to go home.
Yep.
There was a TikTok or reel that I watched yesterday, and it's a guy. He was here at AT&T Stadium for, I think it was the last game, and he's walking around asking people how much they've spent, where they're from, and how much they've spent. And a lot of them are like, "I'm from England, I'm from Germany, I'm from here, blah blah blah." Almost all of them over $100,000.
Fuck.
And then he's like, "Well, what do you do for a living?" He's like, "Well, I'm a trust fund kid, or I got money for my family, or I'm in AI, or I build websites or stuff like that." And he'd be like, "Are you worried about it?" No. Be awesome to be able to go to a country for a month and spend $100,000
No
just
doubt.
watching soccer.
Yeah. Not be plagued with all the things you have to deal with back home.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's killer.
And then you go to a place and you're like, I thought I was going to get shot here. And
Yeah.
no, this place is awesome. Yeah. So it's been a great time. It's been great watching all that, watching all the social media and everything. And it's been great because it's kept me from watching other bullshit.
Yeah.
I noticed that the other day. I don't watch the news anymore because
Watching the game.
the games are on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Usually I just have the news on in my work truck the whole time. But since all the games are on all day, it's been nice. You don't get all depressed.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I got to stay away from it, man. I try and stay away from looking at social media just in general. I try, best I can. I find myself going down the face. I'm like, turn that off. Shut the fuck. Go back to YouTube. What am I watching over here?
Yeah.
It's easy to do, my man.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, dude, 24 in the bag?
I think so. What's your site? OnTourMonthly.com, all one word.
That's correct. On
Yep.
tourmonthly.com.
And then Instagram?
Instagram, it's at Photos That Rock.
At Photos at Rock.
No, Photos That Rock.
Oh,
That Rock. That's the one I always
Photos
read
That
about.
Rock.
Is at Photos That Rock. Yeah.
Sweet.
James, it's been fun.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks,
I
guys.
hope you had fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And-
Had a lot of fun.
Getting into it with you and breaking things down and,
Yeah.
exploring. Is there anything you want to say to our guest next week here at the end of the show?
Oh.
Like a big boot in the ass.
No, not really. I mean, I think most of it is pretty much was said, and just whether it was direct or not.
Okay.
I think a lot of it is just you get opportunities and you should be able to share those opportunities. That's not who has the most, and I think that's how I felt for a while.
Yeah.
Great people. I don't have a problem with that. I think we all have to share in what we're doing.
Is this going to lead into our first debate that this show and the next show happens, and then it possibly could be like ringside at PCR?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I there's a lot of things, and I think that would be like a whole different show where we could just talk about stuff like that, because there's a lot of it is just it's silly, but it affects a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I have a friend that was really affected by that whole thing too, actually, and whether you think it does or it doesn't, it does. And I didn't need it. I didn't need to have that exposure for myself, so I don't really care, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I totally get you. I totally understand. Well, it's been a blast.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
for coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. That was a lot of fun. I like that. I like being able to talk about just whatever.
You're welcome back anytime. I mean.
Welcome back.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
that'd be
Yeah,
great.
next time we'll talk about something besides photography. We'll just talk about BS and
Yeah,
just stuff that we do and stuff that you notice and observations. That's always cool too.
yeah.
Especially this conspiracy stuff. It's kind of cool.
Oh, are you a conspiracy nut?
I'm not a conspiracy nut. You don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but there's just things
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
That's the way I am.
Yeah, you
It's
can't.
very
you know,
entertaining.
I'll make a funny joke and I'll end it on that. And when you talk about like I always say this, and my friends are like, "You're crazy." Like people always talk about why do we always joke so much, and why do we always look down on people that talk about flat Earth? This flat Earth, even if it's flat or not, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? Is it going to change the way that you get up in the morning and put your shoes on and the way you go to work? No. I think the scarier topic would be the God conversation.
Oh, that is a scary conversation.
Because have you seen? This is kind of off topic. Have you seen the movie The Disclosure? Disclosure Day.
I have not watched it yet.
You have to watch that. Well, you've seen it, right?
Oh, you have seen it.
And they dismissed it when she was asked about the religious piece.
Right.
But I think that's because that's kind of where we're heading, and we're going to end up seeing that eventually.
Sure.
And I've always thought about that. It's like, we make fun about that, and we make fun of flat Earth. I don't believe it's flat, but I don't understand why we talk about it like, oh, you're stupid because you think that.
Right.
But then you think about somebody that's really invested religiously. That would hurt me more if I've experienced some kind of miracle. That would hurt me more if somebody said there was no God.
Totally.
Than if somebody told me the Earth is
flat.
Right.
Well, a lot of people think, I don't know if this goes in Disclosure Day, but a lot of people think that's why they won't talk about aliens.
Well,
and why the Catholics have a lot of stuff locked up under the Vatican.
You have to see it. See it, and you'll see
it. And then we should absolutely have, and if you think we should have an episode like that, leave it in the comments. But I think we should. Yeah. I think we should totally have
I want to see it really bad.
Down the rabbit hole session.
Yeah. Does it relate to Close Encounters at all?
No.
Of the third kind?
It's basically
there's no like callbacks or any feels to it.
No.
Okay.
No. It's more of a what if.
Yeah.
It's what would happen.
Because when Spielberg said that this was going to wrap around to, because Close Encounters is one of my favorite movies as a kid, I got all excited. I was like, oh, we're going to be wrapping some stuff up and explaining some things.
I guess the takeaway that I would give you and I would say is that I said the thing I've always said about the God religion thing. And, and I sat down and watched it. I don't know how you felt when you watched it, but that last piece of it, dude, I actually felt weird.
Totally.
I mean, it.
But then again, I watch a bunch of obscure shit.
Yeah.
So I'm down that rabbit hole a lot.
But I tell you, I shit you not, I felt like it was really happening.
Yeah.
And I you could sit there and say, oh, it wouldn't affect me. I wouldn't care. At the way that I guess the reporter girl was doing the whole deal, it was captivating.
It's kind of the same feeling you get if you like watched Interstellar, or when you find out about Antarctica.
Yeah.
And you find out all the rules about it, and then you wonder why. And then you start going down oh my God, we could do this for hours.
Yeah. I think it would be a fun one, but I'd love to participate in it. But you got to watch it. You got to
definitely. I'd love to get like 3 people in on it and have a whole circle and talk about it.
Yeah. And then I'll bring in someone that spent 2 years in Antarctica.
Okay. I would love for that to happen. I would love to pick that dude's brain.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Or girl, if it's a guy or girl. Okay.
Whoever.
Yeah. That might even be like change the set. I go pull out the round table and sit down kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
October's around the corner. I mean, we could always come up with it's just like 4 weeks of that shit. Just
crazy shit. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Well, dude, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, James.
Like
appreciate
I said,
it.
You're welcome anytime.
Yeah, thanks,
Absolutely.
Guys. That was great. You guys, I really appreciate it, and hope you guys are successful in what you're doing. I want to go back and look at episodes now because that's.
I think this is the #1 episode already.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
I think it's the top.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Till next week. Later,
guys.